sun. The high 45 is going to feel like it's well down in the 30s with a strong northwest wind throughout the day. Then Friday, cloudy and colder, an afternoon snow shower around, the high of 34. Could be a period of steadier snow at night, too, in the dark. That could lead to some slow and slick travel. Then Saturday, more clouds and sun, breezy with a couple of flurries. High of 30s, going to feel like teens and 20s with a strong north-northwest wind. Then Sunday, well, another very cold day with plenty of sun. The high 22 is going to feel like it's well down in the teens with a breeze out of the north-northwest. Monday, mostly sunny and still cold, the high of 26. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, it's 51, still sunny in Hartford. The market's taking a nosedive after that report from the Fed earlier. The Dow down now 505 points. NASDAQ's down 389, and the S&P is down 89 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
The holiday season should remind us that faith and family are the most important things in life. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We hope that you succeed in coming together this holiday season with those you love, and in the process, create wonderful generational memories. Holidays have this magical power to magnify small things into ever greater memories over time. Happy holidays.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Hartford area attorneys. Phyllis McCutcheon, licensed in Connecticut. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 customers would recommend AAA insurance to a friend? That's higher than the percentage of people that love sunsets. Yeah, the thing's so majestic that the last time you saw one, you posted 25 blurry photos of it online. Don't worry, it's not about likes, it's about heart. Legendary service and superior coverage with AAA insurance, something 9 out of 10 people would recommend. Find out why and get a quote at AAA.com/insurance. Based on a 2023 customer survey. Insurance provided by CSAA Insurance Exchange.
Men, we hear it all. 1 minute. A man comes in to get his erectile dysfunction treated, and very soon thereafter, he tells us that his relationship has come back to life. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and you should know that ED doesn't affect just you. It also often affects your partner. They can feel undesired, unwanted. They may even feel like you don't love them anymore. At Northeast Men's Health, we've successfully treated thousands of men for ED with protocols that have success rates well over 90%, which means if you're like most men, we can get you back to the guy you used to be. You could even last up to an hour or more and find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and give your partner the gift of renewed love. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Permetic restorative health practice.
This is Reese on the radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Members are giving themselves a pay raise. Do you guys deserve a pay raise?
Well, that's news to me. It's good news. You know, what has it been, 10 years or 14 years and no COLA, no change at all? I think it's about time something's done.
You support giving yourselves a pay raise.
How would I not know about a pay raise?
But I mean, people look at the performance of Congress and say, why should we give them more money?
What about the media? Think about that for a second.
And we're not paid by public money.
I know you're not, but I mean, half of your listeners are not there anymore. You're still getting the same paycheck? What's going on?
Damn!
Yeah! Oh, baby. That was Dick Durbin talking to Manu Raju of CNN. You guys are losing half your listeners. Why do you get paid the same? I got to give it to Dick Durbin. Put the knife down, Dick Durbin. Put the knife down. You're going to hurt somebody. Please do not stab your friends. It's Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC on this December the 18th, 2024. Plenty of news and plenty of views to get into that we haven't gotten into this week. Of course, you all know that Reese on the Radio is going to be off the air tomorrow and Friday. You've got our good friend Pastor Will filling in. Join him at the holiday store. Send in your donations. Help those in need. Help the Salvation Army. Help those who need your help. They can't do it without you, and we appreciate you guys contributing every year that you do. And those of you who contribute all year round, whenever you can. Connecticut is a very giving place, and we expect the best, and we always do. I mean, it's like rock'em sock'em numbers every year, and WTIC is privileged to be sort of in concert with the folks at the Salvation Army, and we appreciate them and its family. I've only been with the holiday store once, and I was so welcomed, and they were so loving, and I still drink out of the coffee mug they gave me because it's huge, and I can get a lot of coffee. My wife still brings it in now and again. I want to say this before I get into today's opening monologue. WTIC is about to celebrate in February our 100th anniversary. And God willing, if I'm here, I want to do a portion, and Roland, you'll help me do it if we get the opportunity this January. Like on the actual, I think it's right around Valentine's Day. I want to say February 18th is WTIC's 100th birthday. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but I think it's February 18th. If I am still here at WTIC, God willing, I want to do Keeping It 100 with WTIC. That's a segment I'm going to do. I've been thinking about this for a week and a half now. Keeping It 100. The kids use that terminology, but I want to bring it here to WTIC. 100 years is a long time to be in this business. Is it true that you become like a national landmark at 100 years? They can't touch you after that? Like Fenway? When Fenway was 100 years old, they become a national monument. You can't touch them. Is that the deal? I hope that's the deal. Anyway, we'll talk about that more as February comes around. So Keeping It 100 with WTIC. That's a milestone. You can't get better than that. I want to start off, if I can, to ask you to indulge me as I play some audio. It's about 3 minutes long. If you're watching on ReeseOnRadio.com, please join me there if you haven't, if you'd like to read the words yourself. But I think a lot of people have heard this audio from the very famous radio personality, television personality by the name of Paul Harvey. And people have been talking about it recently. It was recorded in 1965. And I'm going to play it for those of you who've never heard it before. Those of you who know it, know it. But for those of you who've never heard it before, I want you to pay attention. But I want to preface something. When you hear this, and if you have heard this, you hear a lot of people talk about it and say, Paul Harvey predicted the future. Well, I would like to debunk that. I believe that Paul Harvey did not predict the future. When you listen to it, you'll say, but Reese, it sounds like he did. He did not. Pay very close attention. Paul Harvey, 1965, If I Were the Devil.
If I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Now, I know many of you have heard that before. Many of you have played it, shared it with your friends, and talked about how Paul Harvey was like clairvoyant in some way. If you listen to that, I just watched a clip on Instagram with Joe Rogan hearing that for the first time. I think it was this year, if not last year. And he was like, wow, he saw the future. And everyone's sharing it just like that. Wow, did he see the future? Hear me out for a second. Paul Harvey did not see the future. Paul Harvey was living it. You see, what you're seeing today, and I was talking to my wife about this in our daily walk, and I said, sweetheart, what you are witnessing from Ariana Presley, AOC, the progressive left, all of that stuff, it isn't new. It's old. It's very old. It's been here for a while. That right there is 59 years old. Going on 60. That is what has been around for a long time. It's just been mainstreamed today. A younger audience is promoting everything Paul Harvey was talking about in 1965. Paul Harvey was talking about what he was living in. It was always there. And it was growing, and he saw the growth of it, and he saw it as evil. And that's why he talked about it. He wanted nothing more than to warn people that there was a problem brewing. And today, there are young people who are promoting it like it's new. And there are people responding to it, asking, where did all of this come from? And as I say on this show, as I've always said on this show, you've got to let history be your guide. Paul Harvey talked about this, and he was warning everyone then. But they thought it was so fringe. No one listened. No one did. And now you get these young kids today, and they hear it, and they go, oh, my goodness, that's happening right now. No, baby. No, baby. It's always been there. These kids are not promoting anything new. They're not that inventive. They're not that thoughtful. Oh, hell, they'll tell you all the time, they just thought of this. But isn't that always what kids do? I used to laugh at the young folks when they used to talk about marijuana like they invented it. Yeah, man, we're smoking this bomb weed. This stuff will get you so high, dude. And I look at him and I go, what? Why are you talking about weed like you invented it? Oh, it's not like your old people's weed. This is the new stuff, bro. Yeah, okay. Every kid thinks they're the inventor of everything. They think today that the oppression that they deal with is new. No one's ever. You didn't deal with the stuff that we dealt with. Sure, we didn't. I grew up knowing every day that there was nothing new under the sun. And neither is any of this mayhem. So the next time you hear that Paul Harvey clip and someone says to you, man, he saw the future, just correct him and say, no, he was living it. Let's go to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Tony's in Southington. How you doing, sir?
All right, I'm doing great, Reese. How about you, buddy?
I'm all right. What do you got for me?
Okay. Yes, I agree with you about Paul Harvey, not because it's accurate, more like because it's ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean ignorant?
And things are changeable. Ignorant in the sense that it's kind of like negativity, kind of consumes people more so than positivity.
Very true.
So anybody can easily set it. But I look to be more optimistic and hope for positive change and happiness for our future, because that's what every day in real life, the ultimate goal that each individual is fighting for.
Well, can't you say
what I mean?
What I say about this, the thing with Steve Harvey, the thing with Paul Harvey, as I'm listening to it, right? And like every time I hear it, there's a certain part that always sort of rang true with me. And I used to say this when I was like 12, 13 years old. I remember being in an argument with someone who said that I said that today a kid, this is when I was 12. I said a kid today finds it cooler to write graffiti on a grocery store window than it is to help an old lady cross the street, because doing something like that is square. Doing something like that is corny. But doing something rebellious or vandalous, that is considered cool. Like doing the wrong thing or making the wrong decision is something you get accolades for. But doing the right thing and doing the cool thing, you get clowned for. And Paul Harvey is talking about
negativity.
Right. Yep. Paul Harvey's talking about that in 1965. I was talking about it in 1983.
Yes, exactly. You nailed it, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because they're trying to make negativity popular and something is cool. Is it something righteous? Absolutely not. At the end of the day.
Right. Exactly right.
That's how I look at it.
Thank you, sir.
One more quick thing.
Okay, real quick.
One more quick thing. Dude, I bought one of your awesome shirts yesterday on the internet.
I did see that. I'm gonna get everybody their shirts. I'm gonna see if I can get them direct from the manufacturer to you, so you don't have to wait as long. All right. Thank you, man.
Yeah, RR Blue, baby.
Thank you,
right,
sir. All right, Aaron is in Goshen. What's going on, Aaron?
Hey, I would say this. I think maybe it's a little bit more subtle than it is nowadays. I mean, for example, let's go to Sam Smith at the Grammys.
Yes.
Where he's got trannies dancing, and he's dressed as the devil, and you can totally see that it's a satanic ritual.
Yes.
Let's go to the Super Bowl halftime shows that are just getting more and more. They're literally Illuminati rituals that are taking place in front of the masses, and we all stand there and go, "Oh, creative genius! It's so amazing!
Yeah.
That was fantastic!"
Right.
And somebody like me that's been seeing this crap for years goes, "Are you guys serious right now? You're not seeing the subliminal messaging that they're throwing at you."
Mm-hmm. And I think it's almost provocateur. Right? So the objective is, and this is what, it's funny you say the Super Bowl halftime show. Remember the outrage of the Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson sort of nip slip thing, right? Remember that was like
wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, the wardrobe malfunction. That's how we got that term, right? Remember that was like everyone who was talking about it, there wasn't one person who was saying, what's the big deal? Everyone at that moment was saying whose fault it was. There was no one who was saying, oh, it's just the nipple. Nobody said that. Everybody said at that venue, it was absolutely inappropriate, and then they were trying to apply a blame, or somebody was supposed to be applied blame, either it be Justin Timberlake or Janet Jackson, and then what were the reasons why it happened. But no one ever said that that was cool because the venue. As you just said, more and more we have somebody on the halftime show pushing the envelope more. The NFL has abandoned its outrage from Janet Jackson to now allowing the people on the halftime show to go right to the edge.
Exactly. I mean, the Janet Jackson thing, like you're saying, his child's play at this point compared to what last year's was, or even 2 years prior was. I mean, and the thing that gets me is the fact that most of these people aren't awake to it. But you do. Some people do wake up too. Like I mentioned to my wife, we were watching that Sam Smith thing. I'm like, so now do you understand what I'm saying? The look on her face is like, yeah, you're right. I mean.
But you know,
there was no denying it.
Let me tell you this, Aaron. I remember the first time I had ever heard anyone say this to me. But I was having a debate. I was roughly about 16 or 17, and I was having a debate. And it was the first time I'd ever heard the term. The guy says, I'm from Missouri, the show me state. You're going to have to show me in order for me to believe it. And I was like, oh, I like that saying. But then I realized in order to get people, as you just illustrated with your wife, you could say till her ears bleed. She has to see it and witness it for herself in order for it to be true. Otherwise, it's just blather or it's conspiracy. To see it herself and go, whoa, like that's on television, then forget it. There's no denying it.
And unfortunately, we still have so many people that are living in the, that's their right of expression. That's wonderful that they're able to do that and championing it. And at the same point too, if I call it out as being that's grotesque, that's disgusting, and that's satanic, then there's a problem with me.
Hey, Aaron.
I mean that's
as Paul Harvey said, my friend, you're the one who's square.
Yep. Hey, I've been a square for a long time, and it's a great place to live. It's a lot easier.
Hey, I'll quote another great rock historian. It was Huey Lewis who said, it's hip to be square, my friend. It's hip to be square.
It certainly is.
Thank you, buddy. All right, folks, let's take a break. More news, more views. And if you'd like to opine about this, please join us at the other end of the break. It's Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Joel Johnson here with Johnson Brunetti. We do free financial workshops all over the state. One is coming right to your neighborhood. Topics we cover are how to make sure you're not going to run out of money during retirement, estate planning, and also investment risk management. Call or text the word workshop to 1-800-705-1232 to receive more information on our free financial workshops. Just call or text the word workshop, 1-800-705-1232.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
It's officially the merry season, and Light 100.5 WRCH is your home for holiday music. Spinning the biggest and best festive tracks all day long, now through Christmas Day. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Get your holiday fix on the radio at 100.5 FM. Ask your smart speaker to play Light 100.5 WRCH. Or listen on the go with the free Odyssey app.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and More. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
Curbside pickup and delivery available, and the lowest prices for over 30 years only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This year, American farmers will harvest 2.8 billion bushels of wheat and 15.1 billion bushels of corn. And to this day, American road workers have built 4.2 million miles of roads and counting. We're proud that John Deere machines rolling off the line here in the USA play a part in supporting Americans who work the land and build a better tomorrow. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/manufacturing.
And now, a WTIC news update.
50 degrees at 3:30. I'm John Silva. The Federal Reserve cut its key interest rate by a quarter point, third cut this year, but also signaled that it expects to reduce rates more slowly next year than previously envisioned, largely because of still elevated inflation. Norwalk police looking into who is responsible for flyers that have turned up in parts of the city with what it calls prejudicial messaging. The department says those messages reference certain cultures and religions. The flyers were found along several streets near City Hall. Supreme Court will hear arguments next month over the constitutionality of the federal law that could ban TikTok in the U.S. if its Chinese parent company does not sell it. The justices said today they will hear arguments January 10th. That law, enacted in April, set a January 19th deadline for TikTok to be sold or else face a ban in the U.S. Connecticut Hospital Association held a meeting today with its members. They talked about a report into the financial challenges related to post-pandemic recovery and inflation facing hospitals across the state. State police have arrested a man in Providence, Rhode Island on a temporary visa from the Dominican on assault, strangulation, and other charges and the choking of a woman that broke a rear window of a vehicle, left an infant with cuts. The suspect identified as 28-year-old Ariel de Jesus Valdez. Police investigating the death of a man who'd been squatting in an unused office at Yale New Haven Hospital. He's now been identified as 35-year-old Hassau Powell. WTIC News Time 3:32. Jason Caterino with the forecast.
The clouds continue to thicken on our Wednesday afternoon with some rain moving in, the high of 51. Periods of rain end after midnight tonight, the low down to 35. Then on Thursday, breezy with a mix of clouds and sun. The high 45 is going to feel like it's well down in the 30s with a strong northwest wind. On Friday, cloudy and colder with an afternoon snow shower around. The high 34, and there could be a period of steadier snow after dark, leading to slow and slick travel. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Markets have taken a bath since the word from the Fed came out earlier this afternoon. The Dow's down 649 points. The NASDAQ is off 515. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now get a meal deal on a hot and spicy or classic McChicken for $5, or make that a McDouble meal for $6. Prices and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
I'm at Big Y, and my son calls to tell me tomorrow's the holiday cookie swap. Then I see the baker putting out these fresh cookies, and she says,
2 dozen of these. Wrap them individually. Done.
Nice.
Here's to happy holidays and tasty traditions. Big Y, nicely done.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars. Lose the weight, stop smoking, early bird special, $49.99. Seminars Thursday, January 9th, Hilton Garden Inn, Hartford, South Glastonbury in Glastonbury. Weight loss 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, January 11th, Holiday Inn Express, Southington. Weight loss 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m.
It's Alice Shattuck, and I have something to tell you that they don't want you to know. You don't need to be reliant on the big pharma companies and government bureaucrats telling you what to do to lose that extra weight and stay at a healthy body composition for the rest of your life. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is not a diet or a drug. It's a science-based, personalized coaching program that's uniquely customized to your body and lifestyle to ensure you directly burn body fat while not missing out on living your life. I make myself delicious, healthy food, like my favorite taco omelet, Asian beef lettuce wraps, buttery garlic salmon. I eat out with friends and family and even enjoy a night out on the town. I used to always try to lose weight, but I was lost between government dietary guidelines and fad advice on the internet. Awaken 180 works for me. It will work for you too. At Awaken 180, the coaches teach you how to eat for life to maintain your ideal weight. And after completing the program, you receive free maintenance coaching forever. Book your first appointment by calling 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling.
I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The county just requested more.
1 minute.
Orders have really amped up at Able Electric.
We need 3 more at First in Maine, and we just got another hotel chain.
It's no shock. Able Electric needs able electricians.
Grocery store wants charging stations too.
And fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like this.
And staying with that.
One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my...
Yeah, 10.
More annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. It's Reese on the radio. News Talk 1080 WTIC. Telephone number 860-522-WTIC. Let's go to Ferris. Ferris, what are we doing today, sir?
Yo, Reese.
Hey, what do you got, buddy?
What we're doing today is we're sweating our ass off down here in Myrtle Beach. 90 in the sun. Calling in from the hot tub outdoors.
Okay.
On this Paul Harvey segment.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is really underscoring the futility of any attempts to turn this around. In other words, this thing is shot. Satan has.
You think he's been successful?
Well, successful in destroying what we had, and it's just too deep. You know, you're not going to turn this around with a couple administrations led by the brilliant builder developer from New York City. So I would just
may I challenge your premise?
Oh, please.
Okay, let me challenge your premise, because you're saying that we're not going to turn it around with a real estate developer from New York City, but I would push back only to say I wouldn't leave it in the hands of him either. I don't believe that that's how evil is thwarted. And I'll go this far. I had this conversation with an old school head R&B singer from the 80s who I always clashed with. He's a old civil rightser has always believes that the entire construct of America is about racism and the plight of the black man in the country. I fight him all the time. And you know what his biggest problem is? He believes that America is the government, right? He believes that the essence of America is its government. He believes that in order for America to either pay its debts or to be a success or be great ever again, it needs government to do that. And my argument to him is that America has never been her government. America's idea is in her people. We exist based upon the work and the ethics of its people. That's like asking the question of whether or not, I don't know, Bahrain is its government. You know, it's like, no, this is probably the only country in the world that has fought for the freedom that we have under several circumstances. And people
I would be inclined.
Go ahead.
I'm inclined to agree with you there, yes, Reese. But I think the overriding principle has to do with its people, and that we are so stupid and dumbed down, and have been dumbed down for so long, and so many generations, that the brain power that it takes to maintain a republic is just not there.
You
and
think that people will get tired?
Well, sure, they already have. Aristotle had it right. He said masculine republics lead to feminine democracies, and feminine democracies lead to tyranny. And that's what you have in Connecticut. You have women rigging the voting system through how many secretaries of the state consecutively were females, and they took away your ability to elect anyone in the state of Canada. We are these United States of America. We are not the United States of America. We are these United States.
I will say this. You're 100% right. And it is I'm going to say this, that I do it with a little bit of apprehension and somewhat hesitation. What you just said is so controversial, but it needs to be said.
Yes,
we have
God,
no. It needs to be said, and trust me, this is one of those places where you've mentioned this. You've mentioned this plenty of times.
You can't talk about it.
I know. First, trust me, I know, and I agree with you. You're 100% right. But I know that you only know me for a little while. But let me tell you something. You bringing it up when you do here, there's a part of me. I leave this show every time when you say something like that, and I say to myself, I am so sick and tired of being apprehensive about talking about that, because there's a degree of what Ferris is talking about that's right. And we do need to stand up there, because there is an element in our society. It is feminine that is destroying our republic. It is. And it cannot be this thing that we are afraid to talk about, if not pushed back on.
We agree that station is run by a female.
Well, no. There's much higher than her.
I'm talking about Janine Lee.
No. There are people higher than her.
None has more power. In other words, the females have the power. They have it in a certain place.
Remember, now we're not. Hold on. I don't want to blanket all women having a nefarious sort of bent. I get what you're talking about.
There are exceptions.
Yeah, of course there are exceptions, as in anything. But listen, I want to tell you, I'm literally giving you kudos here, because I know sometimes you get a lot of pushback from a lot of either listeners or hosts on the show. You are talking about something that a lot of people are afraid to talk about, probably one, because they haven't thought about it or been thoughtful about it, or are a little apprehensive about the blowback. But I'll admit
the consequences.
Exactly. But I will tell you,
are just devastating.
Listen, I'm an honest broker in this. I am willing to tell you right here on the air. Sometimes when you bring that up, I get off the air agitated at myself for not really having a conversation about that, because I'll tell you, one of the biggest culprits of destroying the culture in this country, unfortunately, in the black community, are black women. When you see the numbers in that polling data, in those exit data of the presidency, and you find out that 90% of black women voted for somebody like Kamala Harris, how do you not approach that as a conversation? Like, how do you not?
Well, there's got to be kudos to you too, because it takes balls to open this Pandora's box.
It is, and exactly.
No pun intended.
No,
pun intended.
But you're 100% right, because as the saying goes, evil persists when good men do nothing. And it can't be because it's talking about women that we don't say anything because, again, that silence, to steal a phrase from the left, silence is violence in this case. Not talking about it allows that problem to persist.
Frederick Douglass. There you are.
Yeah. Thank you, Ferris. You know what? And like I said,
good luck.
I give you. I know you get a lot of crap, but this was a great call. People even say it in the chat room. This is a great call. Thank you so much for that, man. And I'm glad that you and I got an opportunity to be honest with one another.
All the best.
All the best, sir. Thank you. I was a little apprehensive to pick up this call, but I knew he was there. Let's go to Fred in Middletown. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. So now we know the rest of the story. I
love that. I just realized what you said. That, by the way, for those of you who didn't get that, Paul Harvey used to have a show called The Rest of the Story.
On Saturdays.
That's right.
Yeah, where he'd start off talking about Elvis's great-grandmother who couldn't stand still at the bus stop. Her legs just moved as if with a mind of their own. So, Paul Harvey, he was the man, period. He did do that thing. It was a little bit chintzy, but God bless him. He gets a pass where you didn't know he was doing a commercial until a minute into it.
Yeah.
That was a little bit much.
Well, you know what? I didn't know this, and I found this out today because, again, I've heard that speech 1,000 times. I've listened to the audio 1,000 times. But do you know that there is a transcript of it that is longer and much more far-reaching?
I expect yes, and I've probably heard it. I used to listen to him. He was appointment radio for me. I've been a big fan of his. And, of course, I was alive in 1965 and sentient, being 71. So what he was talking about, it's just metastasized now.
That's
I mean, there's
exactly
no subliminal. That's just like satanic. You know, that Beth Sumet, whatever the hell that thing is. And, of course, Ferris is right. We can't fix this. That's when, having done all, you put it on the cross. My girl Shannon Joy, who just lost her radio gig on Wham 1180 because she wouldn't shut up about the vaccine, says, quote, only God can fix this. And then, and I'll close with this, the tail end of one of my poems, and I'm talking about this chick, Shannon Joy. I heard someone on the radio the other day say, cheer up, saints, it gets worse. She continued, this is just the way the Lord works. He picks you a fight you can't possibly win. And then when you do, give the credit to him. And she, seems to know her Bible and her Constitution. And, like Gideon and them, 300 guys. And it's like, well, here's how you do it. You charge down the hill. Took a lot of that took testicularity there, with you break the vase and there's the torch and you're making all this noise and every man jumped up, grabbed his sword and slew his neighbor. You see, you're not going to figure that plan out on your own, but guess what? It happened,
Yeah. But I'm glad. Listen, I knew that people, especially some of the older folks, will remember him. Thank God I have a bunch of old Vietnam War veterans and Korean War veterans that introduced me to him at a very young age. I feel blessed having known who Paul Harvey was at a very young age. When I wanted to get into radio, I knew this one guy, Dutch, who wanted me to know anything and everything about people who had done it before me. I wasn't interested because I said, oh, man, come on, I just want to tell jokes on the radio. And they said, man, if you want to do it right, you better listen to these guys. And the reason why I know them is because of Dutch. So I'm glad that you appreciate him like many others do. A pioneer in this game.
He's never left my mind or heart. Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Much appreciated. So I want you to go back and listen to that. If you never have, go back and listen to it. It's, again, Paul Harvey wasn't. People talk about him and they go like, wow. Every place I looked online was saying Paul Harvey predicts the future. But just omitting the fact that he was living it. Because so many people think that, this never happened before. These ideas weren't around before. They were always here. They were just trying to get in the positions of power that they're in now. And I remember telling my wife, and I'll say this before we go to break, you have to think about the ideologues of the college years, right, during the Vietnam War and the Korean War and those protesters who were out there. Those were the students. Those were the intelligentsia inside the, inside the protests that were going in and around the city. Well, that may have been in the 1960s, but now those people are some 50 years older, 40 years older. Now those people are in Washington. Now those people are in positions of power. Now those people are in the news media. Now those people are the billionaires and the millionaires. And all they did was take their 1960s idea and mainstream them. So AOC is now talking to the same people who agree with her, who are in media. And now they both get to communicate with one another and spread it out to the masses. And while you're asking yourself, where did all of this come from? You're forgetting that it's always been here. We'll take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. I've got to talk about Cassidy Hutchinson, Liz Cheney, ABC News, and all of that when we return. It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Are you getting fleeced by the credit card companies with their insane rates? Well, how'd you like to be credit card debt-free for the new year? My friends at Go Rascal can make that happen. This is the new breed of home loans. Just go to GoRascal.com to find out. Right now, Go Rascal offering super fast approvals on their equity credit lines and cash-out refis, so you can convert your home's equity to cash, get tens, even hundreds of thousands. You can consolidate all your debt into one low, easy monthly payment, saving hundreds every month. Listen, your home value is up. You know that. Go Rascal can convert that equity into cash that you can use right now, and their process requires virtually no paperwork, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Learn more at GoRascal.com. Just imagine paying off all those credit cards, high-interest car loans, and even personal loans. Do it now and start the new year on a solid financial footing. GoRascal.com. Again, GoRascal.com. You want to call them? It's 860-996-8610, 860-996-8610, or GoRascal.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 2072896, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Listen, you don't want to start the new year with the same old joint pain, do you? You want to lose sleep? Not able to take great walks or do what you love because of your knees or hips or whatever? Well, don't do it. Take action now to get the pain relief you deserve for 2025. Call QC Kinetics and say goodbye to shoulder and back pain, right? QC Kinetics, they're local medical professionals here in Connecticut waiting for you. Their advanced protocols and regenerative medicine have helped tens of thousands of people. I'm talking lasting relief. Imagine a new year without those achy joints. No more pain pills, no more steroid shots. QC Kinetics uses the healing properties of your own body to attack the root cause of your pain, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. It's the future of medicine. If you've been told surgery is your best option, you deserve a second opinion. Just call QC Kinetics. The consultation's free, and then you can make an informed decision. You can use your HSA and FSA dollars, too. Live your best life in 2025. Get started right now. 860-440-PAIN, 860-440-PAIN. It's QC Kinetics. They have 3 offices in Connecticut. That consultation is free. 860-440-PAIN.
For eligible individuals 18 and older with self-perceived mild to moderate hearing loss only. Results vary. See website.
1 minute.
Information.
Hello, I'm Dr. Harvey Abrams, head of research audiology at Jabra Enhance. Did you know there's a connection between untreated hearing loss and chronic conditions like cognitive decline and dementia? The good news is hearing aids can actually reduce these risks and help you stay connected. Today, I'm excited to tell you about my favorite hearing aids, the game-changing Jabra Enhance Select 500. Jabra Enhance offers an affordable solution for most common hearing problems with our best-ever speech-enhancing capabilities for a mighty sound in a micro-sized package. Plus, with Jabra Enhance's premium package, you get 3 years of continuous remote care provided by licensed hearing healthcare professionals. No waiting rooms or long commutes. It's as easy as video chatting with a friend. Because at Jabra Enhance, our job is to help you hear and be heard.
Save $300 on Enhance Select 500 hearing aids at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/radio. That's JABRA Enhance.com/radio. JabraEnhance.com/radio.
Can't get to a WTIC holiday store? Donate from your phone. Text WTIC to 31333.
31333. It's Reese on the radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Taking your phone calls. We're going to talk about Liz Cheney, Cassidy Hutchinson, as well as Jack Smith, who's now being entangled into this probe, this criminal referral sent to the FBI. It doesn't matter whether or not the FBI takes it up. Kash Patel is going to get confirmed, and it's going to be taken up. Liz Cheney, if this pans out, according to these text messages, could face 20 years in jail. I normally don't applaud things like this. But in the next hour, I'll explain to you why I am. And it's really, really simple, but I'll break all of it down. Also, we've got coming up the stupidest thing that I've read today. You have to wait. I'll explain it to you in a minute. But Benny Thompson, and I kept saying Benny Johnson. It's Benny Thompson. He was one of the co-chairs of the January 6th committee. And as you all know, there have been talk inside the news media about preemptive pardons for people. Benny Johnson is one of the people the news media wants a preemptive pardon for. And many people have pushed back on the idea, except for Benny Thompson. And I wonder why. Here's him talking to Reverend Al Shifty Sharpton on his Sunday show, Politics Nation. Here's how that exchange went.
6. And staying with that, there's been some saying that since the president-elect has threatened to go after people, you and that President Biden should therefore give preemptive pardons. You have said that you would take a preemptive pardon from President Biden as he reportedly considers this for people that Trump has threatened, like current and former House members he's called to be imprisoned for their work on the January 6th committee. Are you expecting a pardon from President Biden, and are you worried about the safety of your colleagues in the next Congress?
Well, what I'm more concerned about is the separation of powers authority inherent in our Constitution. We are a legislative body. Our committee was tasked with the responsibility as a legislative body to do just what we did. Now some member of the executive branch who decides that what the legislative branch did was wrong and they should go to jail is not what the law.
That's not exactly what they're planning on doing. They wish to investigate what you've done there, Benny. The president isn't saying, oh, just go lock them up. That's what you guys do.
But, Donald Trump is known not to follow the law. He's a convicted felon. He's been excused for some of his activities because a Supreme Court determined that they were in the pursuit of his responsibility.
In essence, Benny said all of that to say, yeah, Joe Biden, get that pardon to me as quick as possible. Seriously, can you do that? Can you hurry up? I really need that pardon. Yeah. And yes, we deleted stuff. Yes, communications. Yeah, we did not keep the records. Yeah, it was a violation of law. Please, can I get the pardon? And you know what? Can you expand mine to 2012, please? Just give me mine till 2012. I know clearly you could do it. You gave Hunter 2014. I need 2012. There was a time in Bermuda. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Give me mine. Since you're giving them out like candy, treat me like it's Halloween, buddy. Trick or treat. Let's get a check of our first check, I should say, of the traffic with our good friend Mark Christopher, who's in the BPS Traffic Center. Happy Wednesday, Mark.
Same to you, Reese. Happy Wednesday to you and to everyone. And if you are 91 southbound coming into Hartford, you're going to see some slow traffic now from 36 down to 32 A and B. South of downtown, you're moving well down in toward the Cromwell exits. If you're traveling on the northbound side of I-91, look out for an accident on the Middletown Cromwell line between exit 20 and 21, left lane block there. Delays pretty much up to 22 in Cromwell. After that, good ride Hartford up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slows, 56 Governor Street out to 48 Asylum Street. 84 eastbound, you've got some tight traffic now approaching 46 Sisson Avenue into the downtown tunnel. If you are traveling on 2 westbound, just a little tight from exit 4 to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 9 northbound, you've got delays Harbor Park up to the Aricone Bridge. 84 westbound in Cheshire slowing from 26 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound delay 17 to 18. Again, 26 down to the 691 interchange. 691 westbound slowing approaching 7 up to exit 8B. 84 eastbound in Danbury slowing New York Connecticut line to 5. Again from 8 up to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound on the Parkway, you're going to see some slow traffic now as you move from exit 59 down to 58 in Orange. Southbound 91 slows 8 down in toward the 95 interchange in New Haven. 95 southbound delays Q Bridge down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Clouds continue to thicken on our Wednesday afternoon with some rain moving in, the high of 51. Periods of rain will end after midnight tonight, the low down to 35. Then breezy with a mix of clouds and sun on Thursday. The high 45 is going to feel like it's well down in the 30s with that strong northwest wind throughout the day. Cloudy and colder Friday with an afternoon snow shower around, the high of 34. And there could be a period of steadier snow after dark, leading to some slow and slick travel. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The Federal Reserve cut a key interest rate today. CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks.
In a move widely expected by investors, the Fed cut its benchmark lending rate by a quarter point to a range of 4.25% to 4.5%. The third straight meeting in which it cut rates as inflation nears the Fed's 2% target. The market, however, is surprised by an even more cautious outlook for rates, with the updated quarterly forecast now calling for 2 quarter-point rate cuts in 2025 compared to 4 in the previous forecast.
Supreme Court will hear arguments over the federal law banning TikTok if the Chinese government doesn't sell the platform.
The government says TikTok raises significant national security concerns because the Chinese government can manipulate the information on the platform and also gather data about the 170 million U.S. users. Arguments are set for January 10th.
Less than 10 days before the law was set to take effect, CBS's Jan Crawford covers the High Court. Wayne Unger, professor of law at Quinnipiac University in Hamden, says he expects a quick ruling.
This is one of those situations to where I expect, because of the speed at which they wish to move here, any ruling that comes is going to be very narrow and apply to this case only.
Questionable, concerning, and controversial spending habits unearthed in an audit into the state colleges and universities system is found in that now that audit has been complete. The review had a special focus on the chancellor's spending on meals, tipping, and vehicle use.
He spent about $19,000 in the period of 3 fiscal years that we looked at on meals. CSU has a policy that is no person using one of these cards should spend more than $50 on a meal, including tip. The chancellor spent more than $50 on numerous occasions.
State Controller Sean Scanlon suggests he may have overused a clause that allows him to nix limits on certain spending. So Scanlon is now recommending some policy changes, including a centralized purchase card rule that isn't unique to certain individuals or schools within the system. A patient in Louisiana has been hospitalized with the avian bird flu, the first serious case in the U.S., as concern grows over a pandemic.
The nation's top health agency says a patient was hospitalized in Louisiana. This patient was infected with H5N1 bird flu, the strain of virus that's been spreading in wild birds and poultry in the country. This person was reportedly exposed to sick and dead birds in backyard flocks. There have been a total of 61 cases of bird flu in humans since April. So far, though, no human-to-human transmission.
Reporter Sabrina Cupid in Atlanta. Secretary of State Blinken met with his successor designate today. Senator Marco Rubio. State Department spokesman Vedant Patel says it was a productive meeting between the two.
As we've long said, we continue to stand ready to help support a seamless transition come January 20th.
The closing bell report, sponsored by Bouvier Insurance, and stocks took a nosedive today. Dow down 1,100 points, NASDAQ down 716, S&P down 178. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Thanks to wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and More. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
Curbside pickup and delivery available, and the lowest prices for over 30 years only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This year, American farmers will harvest 2.8 billion bushels of wheat and 15.1 billion bushels of corn. And to this day, American road workers have built 4.2 million miles of roads and counting. We're proud that John Deere machines rolling off the line here in the USA part in supporting Americans who work the land and build a better tomorrow. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/manufacturing.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, I didn't even realize we were going up that fast. Look how quick it was. You know what time it is?
This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Do I look that stupid? Yes, you do.
Go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com for the stupidest thing that I've read today. Folks, if you've never heard of the website Mediaite, that's okay. Doesn't matter. Each year they put out a list called the Most Influential in News 2024. And Mediaite puts this out again. It's always near the end of the year when they put this list out. I would watch this or read this thing, often just to see who's on the list. And for some odd reason, Don Lemon was always on it. Didn't matter how many viewers he was hemorrhaging regularly. They use the word influential in a very limited way. It's almost as if the word means nothing to them. Let me run through a couple of them. They do 75, by the way. I'm just going to give you a few from the last 15. And you tell me whether or not this may be the stupidest thing you've ever heard. Ever. Jake Tapper is number 14. Jake Tapper doesn't get 70,000 viewers in the coveted 18 to 24 or 18 to 29 mark. No. Jake Tapper's number 14 out of 75, ladies and gentlemen. He beat Jesse Waters, who comes in. No, sorry, Jesse Waters beats him at number 13. I apologize. Jesse Waters, number 13. Jake Tapper, number 14. Jesse Waters has 5 times the audience of Jake Tapper. Okay? Shows you how crazy it is. Rashida Jones and Mark Thompson. These are the two people who are the heads of CNN and MSNBC. Yeah. These people beat Jesse. They're hemorrhaging viewers. They're on the list. I can't believe that they're actually on here. Brett Baer, I think, is number 8. Matt Drudge is 7. Number 6 on this list is Joe Scarborough and Minka Brzezinski. Another show, hemorrhaging viewers. They're on that list. I still don't understand it. Sean Hannity comes in number 5. Hold on. Charlemagne the Fool is number 4. What? I couldn't believe it. Charlemagne the Fool. Some of the people on this list are insane. Go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com to read the stupidest thing that I've read today. Now another check of our traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, you're on the eastbound side of 84. You're going to see delays 44 Prospect Oakwood up to 48 Capitol Avenue. A little tight again out by 59 into 384 interchange. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulky Bridge up to 47 Sigourney Street. Southbound 91, look out for a problem on the right shoulder between 35 and 34 on the Windsor-Hartford line. Delays down to 32 A and B. Again, some slow traffic 19 in Meriden down to 17 with the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Northbound side of I-91, you're going to see a little bump between 21 and 22 in Cromwell. After that, good ride Hartford up into Windsor. If you are traveling now on the 291 eastbound or 384 eastbound, that looks good east of the river. 2 westbound's a little slow. Exit 4 to the 84 west merge in East Hartford. 9 northbound slows Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. It is looking good in Waterbury. Just a little slow down 84 eastbound, 17 to 18. Westbound 84, though, is a bit heavier, slowing from 26 in Cheshire, approaching 26 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound slowing New York, Connecticut line out to exit 5 in Danbury. Again, some sluggish traffic 8 to 11 in Newtown. Southbound on the Parkway, you've got some slow traffic now as you move between the West Rock Tunnel and exit 58 in Orange. Southbound 91's locked up 8 down in toward the 95 interchange. 95 southbound New Haven slowing, approaching 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Periods of rain this evening. They'll end after midnight. Could lead to some ponding on the streets and highways after dark. The low down to 35. Breezy with a mix of sun and clouds as we head through the day on Thursday. The high 45 will feel like it's well down in the 30s with a strong northwest wind. Cloudy and colder on Friday. A snow shower around, the high of 34. There could be a period of steadier snow after dark, and that could lead to some slow and slick travel. Then on Saturday, more clouds and sun, breezy with a couple of flurries. The high of 30 is going to feel like it's down in the teens and 20s at times with a strong north-northwest wind. Very cold Sunday as well. The high 22 will feel like it's well down in the teens with a breeze out of the north-northwest again. Right now, it's 47 in Waterbury, 52 in Danbury, 50 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth from Money Wisdom. Tune in this week and every week to gain a better understanding of taxes, retirement income, and long-term care. The Money Wisdom, Saturdays at 8:30 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Count on Steel for Christmas cleanup made easy with the SEA 20 battery-powered handheld vacuum. Now just $99.99. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Valid offer for a limited time, only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Why stay up late? Get your news early with Fox 61 News at 10. Or watch anytime on demand with Fox 61 Plus.
Breaking news from your community. And weather updates to help you plan ahead. Watch live or on your schedule on Fox 61 Plus. Stay informed anywhere, anytime.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station. Streaming live or on demand on Fox 61 Plus.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by calling 844-300-LEAF to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water, and it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty, so you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Filter today for a free inspection and estimate and to save up to 30%. Dial 844-300-LEAF. That's 844-300-LEAF.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Of course, my microphone would be off. We are back. It's Reese on the radio, News Talk 1080, WTIC, WTIC. Let's get to the phones, 860-522-WTIC, and then I'll talk about this Liz Cheney thing. Let's go to Ken is in Marlboro. How you doing, Ken?
Hi there. Ferris touched on the topic of our long string of secretaries of state. And something else I'd like to touch on as far as our electoral process in Connecticut, with 4 decades of dominance by one party in Hartford.
Yeah.
What drives me crazy is the gerrymandering that's done in the state of Connecticut. And a lot of times you'll take maybe some a little bit more conservative communities, and they always have to add a chunk of a more left-leaning urban center and lump that in to kind of skew things and shift things more into the favor of the Democrats. And I see that all over the place.
Yeah, and the crazy part is that, you know, it seems to be run more by the power brokers. Like, I don't seem to understand how much more Connecticut can stand by having this happen to them. In essence, sort of like the thwarting of that, of the electoral process in the state of Connecticut, that people seem to still keep voting for the same while the numbers of voters seem to diminish. And I'll tell you what is that dynamic that people aren't paying attention to, Ken. And that is the more and more people who are frustrated about the political process in Connecticut always seem to be the ones that leave it or don't contribute or participate anymore. Do you notice that as well?
the other thing I was going to also add on is Connecticut makes it extremely difficult for anybody who wants to run independent party or third-party ticket because the process, and I went through this a couple of years ago, a bunch of us got a little disenchanted with our local Republican town committee, so we ended up trying to put together an independent party ticket. The hoops that we had to jump through to try to run, and we ended up getting squashed at the very last minute because there was one step that we missed, and the State Elections Enforcement Commission was not very clear about the process, so we missed one little step, and as a result, we got disallowed, and we couldn't run our people. It's very the Republican and Democrat process, it's very straightforward, very simple year after year for them to put their ticket forward. For anybody from the outside to try to do it, it's really a convoluted process.
I hear what you're saying, but I just feel like what I've seen more of, and I keep watching these numbers. Every election cycle, I watch these numbers, and I keep seeing the people who are participating in these elections dwindling. I mean, well, growing in people who are leaving the process, right? Not voting at all, not showing up at the polls, especially certain demographics. But the Democrats never seem to stop showing up at the polls. Conservatives, on the other hand, have kind of abandoned it the way they've abandoned education. They're like, Connecticut's never going to turn red or it's never even going to become purple, so they've decided to opt out. I think that's the problem. Independents are growing in the state, and you're right. Independents are growing, and they've had a lot of headwinds in trying to do so. But I think that more and more Republicans stepping out of the race or sort of giving up on it is the reason why there's never going to be any sort of change.
Well, like I said, after 4 decades of one-party domination, some people are going to get disenchanted, and they're going to just throw up their hands and say, I give up.
Yeah, and I think that, I hear it all the time. And you know what I'm hearing a lot more of, Ken, are people who are saying, I've just about had it, I'm just leaving. And that's a growing sentiment as well. So.
Well, I have both my kids have moved out of state, one to Florida, one to Arizona.
Interesting. So, I wonder how long the one in Arizona is going to stay, because Arizona's turning into kind of purple. If you get my meaning.
I know. I keep ribbing him about that a little bit. That, hey, what's going on in your state, Arizona?
Yeah, it's funny
especially when they couldn't get their election results in.
Yeah.
How long was it? Like 2 weeks or something? It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm like, that's Arizona. Me growing up seeing Arizona become purple just never sat right with me. It's like. I'll put it to you this way. It's like losing a popularity contest in your own home. It's like really horrible. It's very weird. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate you, sir. Let's go to Joe's in Simsbury. How are we doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm all right, sir. What do you got?
That's good. So I'm upset about a couple of things. Very diametrically opposed issues.
Okay.
We can talk about whichever one you want to spend the time on. The first one is, yesterday I called in about the Derek Chauvin thing and the judge allowing them to take a look at George Floyd's heart tissue and fluids from his body. And now we have the Department of Justice just filed a motion to have the judge take back that ruling.
Yes.
How disgusting is that as an American to have the Department of Justice not want to have further testing done, or maybe initial testing would probably be more accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And we just stand around like, it's the government. It could be us at any point. This is just, to me, insane. That's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is, and I'm begging for people, begging might not be the right word, but there are people that are calling in, talking about the drones, and they're saying, they're looking for radiation from a hospital medical thing that wasn't delivered in a container.
Okay.
And it's like, folks, this is a very serious situation. Whether or not people want to admit it or not, it is really a serious situation to have the government not tell us what's going on. Well, what has now come out, and people are falling for this, and I wasn't falling for it, and I really want people to really start to focus on it and use the logic that I know everyone's capable of, is that, first and foremost, if you go into any hospital, every single hospital has some level of radiation.
Sure.
And there's a truck that comes I'm not sure if it's every day or a couple times a week to pick up, the container.
Mhm.
There are no armed guards standing at the door.
Never.
Protecting that radiation, because if some terrorist gets it, it's going to create a dirty bomb. Because the radiation is not strong enough. So they're not looking for that. But the other thing that just came out is, and I didn't even realize this myself, is that this whole drone thing started mid-November.
Right.
The shipment apparently was lost on December 2nd. And now people are finding out that this shipment that people are falling for, again, more government lies, which is why I'm upset here.
Mm-hmm.
It's used to calibrate equipment to do CT scans. And you could basically stand naked next to this radiation that we are supposedly got all these drones looking for a year and get the equivalent of a CT scan. So that's why my voice is sounding upset.
No, but don't sound upset, Joe, because I want to play this. I want to play this clip because, you and I get this all the time, and I've talked about this ad nauseum here at WTIC, is that this government, or at least this administration, has found a way to not put their foot in their mouth, but to create more of a controversy or a conspiracy on its own. They have so many unforced errors in just regular briefings. Like they beg us to ask more questions or to be more suspicious of them. This is Jennifer Griffin talking to one of the heads at the Pentagon today about a briefing that was supposed to be done in public, which the Pentagon then decided to keep classified. Here's that exchange.
Why does it have to be a classified briefing if these are just hobbyist drones, they're not military drones? Why is it a classified briefing on the Capitol Hill?
I'd have to refer you to Congress on that. Again, sharing as much information as we can here. I don't have the briefing in front of me, so I can't tell you specifically, what aspects are classified or not. I can assure you, though, that again.
Now, the part that bothers me about that is that Congress did not ask for the briefing to be classified. The Pentagon did. Who doesn't know that?
I know. It's just mind-boggling, and all I'm asking for, and I know I'm coming across frustrated, and maybe some people won't be happy with me. I need every other citizen to really look at this, because this could be our next COVID.
It could.
It's not a bio, tech type thing. But we were lied to so much by the government at the beginning, and look what COVID did to us. Don't let them lie again.
Mm-hmm.
Use any bit of brains you have. Go on Google. Go on social media. Put two and two together. We may not come up with what it is, but the other thing people say is that, they're drone testing. Really? We live in the insurance capital of the world. Do you really think they're drone testing over neighborhoods? The liability would be staggering.
You want to hear the crazy part? Try this on for size. Did you hear what Gavin Newsom just issued a state of emergency for? Did you hear about that?
No, I did not.
He just put in a state of emergency in California for the bird flu. Now, where have you heard that before?
Well, there are people that have predicted that bird flu is coming very quickly, and again, it's a pandemic.
That's right.
And maybe the drones are to take our eyes off the bird flu. I don't know. But please don't fall for what the government is lying to us about. And for the first time in a long time, I'm actually seeing the media not falling for what the government is trying to push our way. So let's all work together and try to, hold them responsible.
Exactly. Don't let up. This is one of those moments where we cannot let up. It's only 34 days? We cannot let up because they'll hold out. And when the new administration comes in and they start asking questions, they are going to be feverishly trying to keep this administration from finding out what's really going on, which in essence, in and of itself, is a coup, believe it or not. The new administration coming in, the more that these state actors, these people inside the government, keep that information from the President of the United States and his incoming administration, that is the pure definition of a coup. They are hiding information from the people you elected, or from the man that you elected to take over these United States. And, I don't know what they're going to do in the next 35 days.
They're doing something right in front of our face. We need to be as smart as we possibly can be. That's our only defense, that I can think of, other than other things that would create a lot of
Yeah.
major issues. We
Indeed.
just need to be smart and challenge them and challenge them and challenge them,
Indeed.
and not accept garbage.
Indeed. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you, sir. Let's go to Michael, who's in Hingham. How you doing, Mike?
Good. How you doing, Reese?
I'm all right, sir. What's up?
So as far as the drones and the excuses I've seen thrown around, in fact, one website I would highly recommend is Citizens Free Press.
Yeah.
They're like Drudge Report before Drudge Report sold out.
Right.
So they were reporting it was an HPGE that they were looking for as a radioactive material.
Yeah.
I worked at Canberra Industries in Meriden, Connecticut. They use high purity germanium detectors, which is what that stands for the military and hospitals as well for detection of radiation. And they wouldn't be looking for that. Those drones may be using high purity germanium detectors to try to find nuclear material. I mean, everything has a radioactive signature. A banana has a potassium that's in banana has a radioactive signature. But
I did not know that. That is some that one I'm going to have to put in the database now. Never knew that.
But all I will say, given the area they're looking at, I wouldn't want to be at New Year's Eve in Times Square this year.
Yeah,
not that I ever would want to be.
I hear you 100%. Like I said, we're keeping a close eye on it, and we'll, hopefully, just something comes of this within the next coming days. I don't think we can deal with another week of this nonsense.
No, I have another theory too.
Yeah, real quick.
What's happened in the last 12 months? We've had a total eclipse of the sun, and we've seen the northern lights as far as Texas. So,
okay.
I don't know.
All right, don't make me go down that road. That seems okay.
I know that's the George Norrie route.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you, sir.
Absolutely. Take care. Merry
You got
Christmas.
it, man. Merry Christmas to you. Yeah, speaking of, because I'm not going to be here for the rest of the week, but I'll be back here on Monday. Let me look at my calendar, because I got to do that.
I don't think you're going to be back Monday.
No? Don't say that.
I thought Monday was a full day, last day in the store.
So Monday is not going to be a full day?
Yeah, it is. A full day in the store.
Oh, it's the full day in the store, so I'm not going to be back on Monday.
I don't believe so.
So we're going to have to do 6 to 8 black men today. We're just going to have to do it in the 5 o'clock hour. Or at least, we'll do it at the end of the 5 o'clock hour. So Monday is the last day of the oh, man. Okay.
Store. I think Joey told me that earlier.
Okay, well, you know what? Let me double check my email during the break. Let's get to the PPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher and find out. Hey, Mark, how are the roads doing there before the weekend?
Well, we're actually not doing too bad right now. We do see some delays, though, coming 91 southbound from exit 37 down to 35 A and B, and again from 34 down to 30.
Yeah, go ahead on double check, because I'm pretty sure Joey told me earlier today that Monday is a full day in the stores.
Traveling 35 up to 36, 91 northbound, a little tight there. Westbound 84 slowing 56 Governor Street up to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound delays 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. 2 eastbound a little slow by 5C. 2 westbound slowing by 5D. 3 northbound delays from the Putnam Bridge up to the Route 3 ramps in Glastonbury. 9 northbound slows Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 northbound, again, some slow traffic. 32 up to 34 New Britain. 9 southbound got delays from the 72 interchange. It's slowing down to exit 33 in Berlin, and some tight traffic again from 32 to 31 in Cromwell. Westbound side of 84, you're tied up from the 691 interchange in Cheshire up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing 17 to 18, again 26 down to the 691 interchange in Cheshire. 84 eastbound in New York, Connecticut line, you've got delays there out to exit 5 in Danbury. More slow traffic 8 out to 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway slowing 60 into the West Rock Tunnel. 91 southbound delays 7 into the 95 interchange. And 95 southbound New Haven slowing from 48 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The clouds continue to thicken on our Wednesday afternoon with some rain moving in, the high of 51. Periods of rain end after midnight tonight, the low down to 35. Then on Thursday, breezy with a mix of clouds and sun. The high 45 is going to feel like it's well down in the 30s with a strong northwest wind. On Friday, cloudy and colder with an afternoon snow shower around. The high 34, and there could be a period of steadier snow after dark, leading to slow and slick travel. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. Well, it turned into a horrific day on Wall Street after the Federal Reserve announced it was cutting its key interest rate, but hinted at fewer cuts next year due to stubborn inflation. The Dow tanked over 1,100 points, its second worst day of the year. New Haven police have released the name of a man found dead this week in an unused office at Yale New Haven Hospital. They believe 35-year-old Hassau Powell had been squatting in that office for some time. No word yet on a cause of death. Man's under arrest after state police say he choked a woman at an I-95 rest stop earlier this month. Ariel de Jesus Valdez faces a number of charges, including strangulation, in that December 7th incident at the rest stop along 95 in Fairfield. He was found in Providence, Rhode Island. House Ethics Committee has voted in secret to release the long-awaited ethics report into former Congressman Matt Gaetz. The move by the panel raises the possibility that the allegations against the Florida Republican, who was President-elect Trump's first choice for Attorney General, could be made public in the coming days. Supreme Court says it will consider South Carolina's move to cut off Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood. And in an audit from the state controller's office, misuse of state-issued purchase cards considered systemic among some top administrators in the state colleges and university system. Again, the Dow down 1,123 points today. The NASDAQ shed 716, and the S&P was down 178 points. Men's college basketball tonight. Xavier at number 11 UConn. The NBA and NHL locals are idle tonight. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
It's Alice Shattuck, and I have something to tell you that they don't want you to know. You don't need to be reliant on the big pharma companies and government bureaucrats telling you what to do to lose that extra weight and stay at a healthy body composition for the rest of your life. Awaken 180 Weight Loss is not a diet or a drug. It's a science-based, personalized coaching program that's uniquely customized to your body and lifestyle to ensure you directly burn body fat while not missing out on living your life. I make myself delicious, healthy food, like my favorite taco omelet, Asian beef lettuce wraps, buttery garlic salmon. I eat out with friends and family and even enjoy a night out on the town. I used to always try to lose weight, but I was lost between government dietary guidelines and fad advice on the internet. Awaken 180 works for me. It will work for you too. At Awaken 180, the coaches teach you how to eat for life to maintain your ideal weight. And after completing the program, you receive free maintenance coaching forever. Book your first appointment by calling 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and to take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
You know, as they say, one person's personal information is another person's treasure.
Exactly. That's why I use NordVPN every time I surf the web. Features like Threat Protection Pro's safeguard devices from phishing websites and disable intrusive ads and trackers. Just check NordVPN.com, grab the deal, and see for yourself. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, so according to this, if we're doing this correctly, and I looked at this correctly, so no Reese on the radio on Monday, the 23rd, right? So I'll be back Tuesday, Christmas Eve, Roland? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
That
I
looks
think.
like-
Oh, do we have a Are we on Christmas Eve? I gotta.
Okay, so
Okay,
it's very possible I could be on Christmas Eve.
It's possible.
It's possible I could be on Christmas Eve. Okay, all right.
Oh, I'm hearing no, you won't, because
Okay.
it's supposed to be Christmas music.
Okay, so it's all Christmas music. Okay, so that was why I got a memo for that today. So you mean to tell me there's no Reese on the radio until the day after Christmas?
I guess so.
Okay, no problem. It's just
a harsh blow, I know.
No, it sucks. It's all right. It's like you're taking me out of my routine. You might as well just take a foot while you're at it. If it's gonna be that bad, now I have to come in and pretend to do radio. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to come in here and sit in my office and pretend to do radio. Maybe I'll bring the podcast back for the holidays at 8 p.m. and just do that. Just so I have something to do with my day. That's okay. I can always run U-Haul all weekend. I could do that for the next coming, 5 days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Goodness gracious. Roland, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 days.
Yeah.
I've never taken that long off in my life, not even for vacation. When I'm on vacation, I'm working. That's all right. Okay, so that means it's a change of plans, ladies and gentlemen. It's a change of plans. So in the next, we're going to do it in the next hour. We're going to do David Sedaris, which again is one of my favorite writers, in a Christmas piece that I like to play every year. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. I do this religiously every year. 6 to 8 Black Men. If you've never heard the piece before, you'll hear it for the first time here tonight, since I won't be back till Thursday, now that I know. So none of it. It's for a good cause, and it's for Christmas, and I want everybody to celebrate Christmas. So we'll do that. But I'm hoping that you all get an opportunity to enjoy it, because it's one of my favorite Christmas stories. Because it's funny, everybody's got a Christmas story, and I kind of feel like in this radio bit, everybody's got a bit that they do during the holidays, Thanksgiving, New Year's, and all that stuff. And I only have one, and this was a story that I read, back in I want to say in the 20s. And when I read it, I thought it was the funniest thing ever, because I didn't know how they celebrated Christmas in other countries. And David Sedaris had this book of all of his essays called Holidays on Ice, and I read it, and then I found out there's an audio version of it in his voice, and David Sedaris has such a unique voice. You will appreciate it. It's something I know that you will share. We share it with all of our friends, so I hope you'll join us. Let's get into another check of the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Mark, real quick, have you ever heard of David Sedaris? He's not there yet.
I heard of him.
Have you heard of David Sedaris?
No, I have not.
Okay, so there used to be a TV show on Comedy Central called Strangers with Candy. Have you ever heard of that?
Okay, yep.
Okay, Amy Sedaris was the star of that show. This is her brother, and he has been a longtime satirist writer. He used to write for The New Yorker, and he's been on David Letterman for years. You can find old David Letterman clips of him. David Letterman would have him on and have him read the essays from his books. So we're going to do one of his essays called 6 to 8 Black Men, A Christmas Story, and you are going to love it, I promise.
Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Sedaris.
Exactly. There you go. That's exactly how you introduce him.
David, I love his work, Dave. I love his work. Paul, thank you very much. Paul Schaefer and the CBS Orchestra, ladies and gentlemen.
You're bringing me back.
I love Letterman. That was one of the highlights of my life. I got to see his show once down at the Ed Sullivan. That was
me too.
So much fun.
Me too.
So much fun.
I don't forget the Joan Osborne was the musical guest. What if God was one of us?
That's right.
Yeah, I was there for that performance. That was my only time there.
The night I was there, it was Ted Danson.
Okay.
And Dr. Jill Biden, believe it or not.
Wow,
Long
really?
Before she was the vice president, or the wife of the president.
Second lady.
Second lady. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jill Biden, ladies and gentlemen. Did I say Mr., ladies and gentlemen? If you're heading into Hartford right now, we are slowing down from, I love Letterman, slowing from 36 down to 35, again 34 down to 32 A and B, more delays 27 to 28. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Boakey Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound, you've got delays 44 Prospect Oakwood down into the tunnel. 291 eastbound slowing from I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge. 2 westbound tight exit 4 to the 84 West merge. 3 northbound, you've got slow traffic from the Putnam Bridge over to the Route 2 ramps in Glastonbury. 9 northbound delays, Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. Again, some slow traffic, 32 up to 34 in New Britain. Southbound Route 9, look for delays approaching 25 down to exit 23 in Berlin. If you're heading toward Waterbury, long, slow line of traffic there. 691 interchange in Cheshire, 84 westbound up to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound slowing 17 to 18 in Waterbury. Again, some slow traffic, 26 down to the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 is tied up as you move between exit 8 and 7. Eastbound 84 slowing Danbury, the Connecticut and New York line out to exit 5, again from 9 in Newtown out to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays from exit 60 into the West Rock Tunnel. 91 southbound delays 7 into the 95 interchange. 95 southbound slowing 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the HWTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Rain not far off to our west now. We'll have periods of rain ending after midnight. The low down to 35 tonight. A breezy day on Thursday with a mix of clouds and sunshine. The high 45 is going to feel like it's well down in the 30s with a strong northwest wind. On Friday, cloudy and colder. We'll have an afternoon snow shower around the high 34. Now, after dark, there could be a period of steadier snow. Could lead to some slow and slick travel Friday if you've got plans during the evening. On Saturday, more clouds than sun. A breezy day. Going to be cold. The high of 30 is going to feel like it's in the teens and 20s with a strong northwest wind at times. Sunday, very cold with plenty of sunshine. The high 22. Still a breeze out of the north and northwest. That's going to make it feel like it's well down in the teens. Monday, another cold day, mostly sunny. The high of 26. Currently, it is 49 in Bristol, New London at 45, and it's 48 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
With the $5 meal deal at McDonald's, you pick a McDouble or a hot and spicy McChicken, then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money.
Price and participation may vary for a limited time only.
Reba is back, live in concert. See Reba performing all the hits for one night only. Live at Mohegan Sun Arena, Friday, March 28th. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Experience relief from oral inflammation and infection at Columbia Dental. Led by Dr. Mohammadi, our practice operates 7 days a week with extended hours, dedicated to restoring peace and comfort to your smile. Visit ColumbiaDental.com.
Hi, I'm Liam McNeely, now playing for a championship team. One shot can change the game and build momentum. You work hard to excel at what you can do best. You turn challenges into success. Teamwork and preparation are the bricks that build a strong, winning foundation. With Brown, Pandeiris, and Scott, you hire a team of lawyers that listen and successfully address all your legal needs. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit bpslawyers.com.
Paid for by government. Now is the time to fill your vault with Morgan Silver Bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan silver dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Americans treasure owning silver bars and coins, putting them away for themselves and their loved ones. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. You'll be glad you did. Hurry, don't miss out on this special deal. Save $10 per silver bar. The more you buy, the more you save. Limit of 25 bars per customer. Call to learn more. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan silver dollar. That's a $59.95 value. Call 1-800-222-3871 now to secure your 1-ounce Morgan silver dollar bars. That's 1-800-222-3871.
Can't get to a WTIC holiday store? Donate from your phone. Text WTIC to 31333.
I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. It's Reese on the radio. News Talk 1080 WTIC. Well, since it's going to be my last broadcast till Christmas or till after Christmas, don't forget, stick around for David Sedaris, 6 to 8 Black Men. If you've never heard it before, you are going to get a treat. It is funny. It is informative. It'll make you look up. In fact, because of this story, they actually had to change the celebration that he talks about in this piece. So I hope that you'll stick around and enjoy that with us. Let's get to the phones before I get to some other news. Joe is in New Hampshire. How you doing, Joe?
Hi. You did it to me again 2 days ago. I told you two big things. You let me get the first one out, and then you said goodbye. And it
probably had to move
today with Jerome Powell's 2 o'clock press conference today.
Meaning that he was dropping in another quarter point?
Well, that was expected. It was the forward guidance. Instead of 4 more cuts next year, 2 or none. But what I was going to tell you, the UVIX was at 327, and I added to my position because I anticipated a sell-off with his news conference on forward guidance, and that's exactly what happened. It closed at 413. The aftermarket, it's at 460, and the S&P aftermarket's down some more. The S&P's down 180 today. But the dynamics are this, and I'm listening to the panel on MSNBC, and the people that are the most accurate say that the whole increase in the stock market since November 6th, the day after the election, could easily be wiped out by the end of this year. The dynamics have changed now. There's no more upside. So I would tell the listeners, if you have a profit in the market, get out now and just sit and watch. At least you made some money. And for those that have nothing going on, it's not too late to buy the UVIX. That could get back up to 10 or 19 like it did back in early September.
I am stunned that you did not call this a course correction so that it didn't look good for Trump in the cut for the inauguration.
Well, the only way that might be true is if Jerome Powell is in cahoots with the Biden administration, and he came out.
You're kidding, right?
We're cutting the quarter point. Now, if they hadn't cut the quarter point today, you would have seen the market down 4,000 or 5,000 points.
Oh, I believe it.
But it's bad enough. So we're up 10 to 12% since November 6th. We gave back 3% today, and you could easily see another 7, 8, 9% over the coming week or so. And that's why I say it's imperative. If you have, I would get out even if you're going to lose a little money. If you got in the last few weeks, so what? You want to lose a lot more.
Are we at a 10-day losing streak yet?
Oh, well, here's the other thing I was going to say. We had 8 straight days of down on the Dow 2 days ago. Now today it's 10 days in a row.
That's right, yeah.
And this has happened. This has not happened since Jimmy Carter was president in 1979.
Right.
So, and the streak isn't over yet. You'll see it down again tomorrow, and probably Friday will be the worst of the week.
We'll see we'll see something change by Friday. You'll see. Something will change by Friday.
Well, then you should go in tomorrow and buy as much as you can. You know, get into the market. You know, I'd hate to see it happen to you, Reese.
Don't worry about me. I'm going to be all right. I appreciate you. Joe.
On paper, I made over $65,000 today, so I'm happy.
Well, buy something nice for Christmas. I'm large, by the way.
No, I reinvested in UVIX, UVIX. I reinvested.
I am a 44 long, by the way.
Hey, you want to hear something on the drones? You want to hear something about the drones that I came up with?
Real quick.
The drones are coming across the border for the last 3 years. They intercepted quite a few, but these are military drones left behind in Afghanistan. They're using our military drones from Afghanistan, whatever's going on. That's what I heard. That's scary, but that's what I'll leave you with. You have a good day.
You got it. You too. Mike is in Plainville. How you doing, Mike?
I don't know. That theory about the drones, that's a little bit too far out there for me. No. You know what? All that time off, that's not good for you. That's dangerous.
I know. That's what I'm saying. People might forget that I was ever here.
When I have a long weekend, 3-4 days off, it's too much for me.
I know.
I'm telling you.
It is. It's like muscle memory. It's like you start to feel like you're out of place. Like you're you don't know what to do with yourself. It's like idle hands.
Absolutely. I'm a year older tomorrow. It's the big. It's an even number. It's the big one, 70.
Congratulations, man.
I'm telling you, I by the grace of God, I'm still here, and I got my health. I still work 30 hours a week, and I'm just grateful for everything that God has given me.
Mike, happy birthday, happy 70th. To be honest with you, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm a little jealous of you. Can I explain to you why? I've said this, I've told this story on the air before. I wanted to be 55 when I was 15. I couldn't wait to be older. And I look at my age now, I'm 55 now, and I see men walking around at 65 and 70, and it's weird because I'm jealous of them because I can't wait until I get that old either. Because I'm really anticipating what kind of 65 and 70-year-old guy I'm going to be. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know why. I've never understood that about me, but I think it has everything to do with my upbringing.
Age, healthy living and age it's an evolution. It's like, we have summer and then you have fall, and fall prepares you for winter, for the harsh conditions. But I wanted to make a comment.
Yeah.
If you got a minute did you see the job, the number that I think he's a senator from down south, John Kennedy, at the hearing with Charlie Baker?
Yes.
Did you see it?
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about Charlie Baker? We're not talking about NCAA, are you?
Yeah, Charlie Baker, NCAA.
Oh,
Kennedy went up one side of him and down the other. When he told him, he said, go back and get a spine and come back.
He told him to go to Amazon and get a spine.
What? This Charlie Baker, he's a carbon copy of useless our governor down here.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't even understand what they're doing with the NCAA. This is the worst I've ever seen academia and collegiate sport. I don't get it, but you know what? Things are gonna change. Just give it some time. It's
going to take a lot of time, and don't expect anything to happen overnight. It's not going to happen. We're going to have something else right after the drones.
I don't
know.
Yeah, exactly.
You hear all kind of theories, but listen, you have a nice holiday.
Thank you, man. You too. Merry Christmas. Dave is in Ellington. How we doing, sir?
I'm telling you, after listening to all those conversations, I really don't know what to say.
Go ahead. You got to have something.
I got a lot of things to say. But I'm telling you right now, it's like, are you all paranoid? Are you all worried about something?
Everybody,
what's the problem?
Listen, I'll put it. It's the curiosity, Dave. It's the curiosity, not knowing. And I love that though. But I love the fact that people are curious.
No, but here, understand this.
Mm-hmm.
Sit back and enjoy the fact that you have the ability to enjoy the curiosity.
Ah, good point. Yeah, don't waste it.
Saying?
Yeah, don't waste it.
Okay, drones are coming. Yeah, drones are coming. Who cares? They're not shooting rockets at my house. They're not shooting rockets at my apartment. So who cares? But drones are out there.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Okay. So what do you want me to do?
Right. Lack of control.
You
but you know, lack of
12 gauge. You want me to take my 12 gauge and start shooting the drones?
Dave,
Is that what you want me to do?
Lack of control. And I've learned this in my sobriety. One of the biggest problems I had was control.
It's not lack of control.
Sure it is.
Stupid. No.
Why is it
I didn't mean to
stupid?
call you stupid?
No, I don't take any offense. Well, no, why? I'm saying when I say lack of control,
It's
right? When
called
people, it's
control.
not knowing is control.
Just sit back. You don't know nothing about nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Period. End of story.
And I
you
agree.
You don't know nothing about nothing.
I got you.
So sit back and just relax. That's all.
But listen, people. Look, that's what I am agreeing with you. I'm only pushing back to say, as a sort of explainer for the people who do not knowing. If people are curious or have curious minds, the fact that people, one, don't know, and two, are how do I say, keeping certain information, making it sound more and more suspicious, that's where people are.
$65,000 question.
Go for it.
Here's the $65,000 question.
Yes.
If the Lord Jesus Christ landed in your driveway, would you look at him and say, I accept you?
What?
Or would you say, oh, my God, he's an alien. What do I do? He's a drone. What do I do?
You know what? That's such a great question because if you're right, if the Lord Jesus Christ were to land in your driveway, would you accept him and would you believe it was him? It's a great question.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a great question. You can't help it.
What are the drones?
Yeah.
Only God knows.
Yeah, good point.
Reese, Have a good day, brother.
Have a wonderful
I love
Christmas,
your
sir.
show.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for your service.
You got it, sir. Thank you. Ralph is in South Carolina. How you doing, Ralph? Whoa, Ralph.
Just wonderful. Yes, sir. I have a couple comments.
Okay,
First
well,
of all,
Ralph, do me a
Social
favor,
Security-
real quick, before you do it. Can you roll up the window? You sound like you're on the road.
I am on the road,
Okay.
and the windows are rolled up.
Okay. Goodness gracious. Okay, go for it. I got you. Is he there? Oh, he put himself on hold, I think. Okay, he may have to get someplace. He'll call me back. Tom is in Thomaston. How you doing, Tom?
Hey, they're very well. Hey, I was called in perfect timing. Senator Kennedy and Senator Hollings are so good in those hearings, and God, it just shows out how weak and senseless our senators are here in Connecticut.
Indeed.
Those two guys are great. When Kennedy said you need to call Amazon and order a spine, because that idiot wouldn't answer a question. It was brilliant.
It makes for, how crazy is it that old Joe Kennedy from Louisiana is one of the most viral senators online because of his little quips and those, like, he makes those hearings interesting. Those things used to be boring when I was growing up. Him, Josh Hawley, and Ted Cruz, those guys make that stuff must-see TV.
Yeah, I watch Forbes News on YouTube every day just to look for those guys. And Kennedy, he likes to use his Southern accent. He comes across as kind of like Gomer Pyle or but he is so sharp, and he could be a stand-up comedian when he quits the Senate.
The favorite thing that he said, I remember the first time my wife saw it. I'd seen it many times before, but my wife howled in laughter when he said, all these people want to defund the police. Well, I guess next time you get into trouble, call a crackhead. I lost it. I lose it every time I watch it, but it's brilliant.
Yeah, he's great. Hey, you have a Merry Christmas, Reese. I really get a lot of enjoyment listening to you.
Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for always calling in and checking out the show. Make sure you stick around for 6 to 8 Black Men. You're going to love it, I promise. You guys, listen, this is, I know it's sort of like finding out like last minute that you're not going to be back for a week. Boo-hoo. But I promise I'm going to make the best of it, okay? I am going to make the best of it. I've got plenty of stuff to get into. 5 o'clock focus. I'm probably going to inundate you with, I'm going to get so many phone calls from the 5 o'clock focus that I'm not going to be able to do this 6 to 8 Black Men. So I'm going to risk it. So I'm going to start now and tell you what the 5 o'clock focus is. What the hell is the big deal with daylight savings time? I don't understand what the big hubbub is. I don't care either way, but people are really, really up in arms about the daylight savings time. If we get rid of it, if it should be there, I don't care. I like what the fall back and spring forward in the hour. I don't know. Don't know why everybody else is up in arms about it, but apparently it is like a powder keg if you even mention it. Just saying. Let's get another check of our traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're westbound 84, look for delays 56 Governor Street. It's tight out to 47 Sigourney Street where it opens up. 84 eastbound locked up. 43 Park Road in West Hartford. Right down to the Bulky Bridge east of the river, running a little slow out by 59 into 384 interchange. If you're southbound 91, sluggish traffic from 37 down to 35. It gets heavy from 35 right down to 32 A and B. Another bump 27 to 28 on the Hartford Weathersfield line. Northbound 91, look for some slow traffic as you move up on exit 25, 26 in Weathersfield, and you'll slow again 35 up to exit 37 in Windsor. 291 eastbound slowing I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge. 2 westbound tied up exit 4 to the 84 West merge. 2 westbound again, some slow traffic in Glastonbury 8 to 5D. 3 northbound's heavy I-91 in Weathersfield over the Putnam Bridge over to the Route 2 ramps in Glastonbury. Heading toward Middletown, 9 northbound delays approaching 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 northbound slowing again from 31 up to 34 in New Britain. 9 southbound delays 25 in New Britain down to exit 33 in Berlin. If you are traveling on the westbound side of 84, a long, slow line of traffic, 691 interchange up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound, Waterbury slowing 17 to 18. If you are traveling on the eastbound side of 84, you've got delays now, New York, Connecticut line out to exit 5. Again, you'll see some slow traffic as you move from exit 9 in Newtown up to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays 60 down into the West Rock Tunnel. 91 southbound delays 6 into the 95 interchange. 95 southbound slowing Q Bridge to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Brought to you by Bob's Discount Furniture. Seeking stress-free holiday shopping? When you holiday the Bob's way, you can snag incredible values on fabulous festive finds for every room and great gifts at every budget. So stop by your local store or visit mybobs.com and see how much you can save when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture.
WTIC weather.
Clouds continue to thicken on our Wednesday afternoon with some rain moving in. The high of 51. Periods of rain will end after midnight tonight. The low down to 35, then breezy with a mix of clouds and sun on Thursday. The high 45 is going to feel like it's well down in the 30s with that strong northwest wind throughout the day. Cloudy and colder Friday with an afternoon snow shower around, the high of 34, and there could be a period of steadier snow after dark, leading to some slow and slick travel. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
5 o'clock, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Police in West Hartford are investigating an afternoon shooting. Details are limited at this point. There is a police presence on Hillcrest Avenue. At least one person having been taken to the hospital. There's no word on the victim's condition or a motive. It was a volatile day on Wall Street.
The Dow plunged more than 1,100 points, its biggest drop of 2024, while the NASDAQ dropped more than 700 points.
CBS business reporter Jason Brooks. The Fed cut interest rates today, but hinted at fewer cuts next year due to inflation. Here we go again, another countdown to a government shutdown if lawmakers can't pass a spending plan in the coming days.
Lawmakers are scrambling to cross the finish line on a budget deal that will keep the lights on through the new year.
Should Republicans, or do you advise them to vote for the CR?
Well, we'll see what folks do. There's still a long conversation going on.
The more than 1,500-page bill would keep government funding levels steady through mid-March.
That's CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand. Police in New Haven say a man found dead in an unused office at Yale New Haven Hospital was likely a squatter who'd been there for some time. The man has been identified as 35-year-old Hassab Powell. This hospital employee who wished to remain anonymous tells WFSB the news is concerning.
People keep saying, we're glad that it didn't get worse. We just got lucky. He didn't have a gun. He didn't have a weapon. He didn't, try to be more physical. But I feel like we're just going to run out of luck one day, unfortunately.
Police Chief Carl Jacobson says Powell had several identities on him and was linked to a number of burglaries in the area of Yale University. U.S. Supreme Court has set a date to hear arguments on the law that could lead to a TikTok ban. Correspondent Ellison Key says that.
The court says it will hear arguments January 10th over whether the law restricts speech in violation of the First Amendment. The law sets a January 19th deadline for TikTok to be banned in the U.S. unless its China-based parent company sells it. No word on when a decision might be issued.
Wayne Unger, law professor at Quinnipiac University in Hamden, says the high court can rule in a number of ways.
They'll say, yes, the petition is granted, or no, the petition is denied. They may kick the can down the road. They may stay the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals opinion and then decide for a more exhaustive briefing and oral argument on the merits of the issue down the road. But I doubt that's going to happen.
Unger says he doesn't see justices ruling from the bench on this. The court also agreed today to hear South Carolina's move to cut off public funding for Planned Parenthood. As we told you at the top, the Dow down over 1,100 points today. NASDAQ lost 716, and the S&P was down 178 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. WTIC.
1 minute.
WTIC-M,
Got
an
it.
equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to providing broad outreach regarding job vacancies at our station. We seek the help of local community organizations in referring qualified applicants to our station. Community organizations that wish to receive our vacancy information should call Stephanie Gragan at 804-474-0010. In addition, all listeners are encouraged to visit Odyssey.com for an online listing of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
Why stay up late? Get your news early with Fox 61 News at 10, or watch anytime on demand with Fox 61 Plus.
Breaking news from your community and weather updates to help you plan ahead. Watch live or on your schedule.
And 10.
61 Plus.
Thank you.
Stay informed anywhere, anytime.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station. Streaming live or on demand on Fox 61 Plus.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man.
5 o'clock focus coming up on News Talk 1080 WTIC. But I got to give an applause to Elon Musk. This just in, Fox News is reporting that Elon Musk post on X that apparently has sent shockwaves to Capitol. This will make everybody feel a little bit better. So apparently, there is a CR on the table that's just more spending. Well, Elon Musk went so far as to say that he's going to primary anybody who signs this bill. Any Republican who signs on to this bill is going to get primaried, saying that they have to answer to the American people. Do not pass this bill. So what happens, who knows? But Elon Musk is already making Doge happen, and he's gone out and just made it very, very clear that they're going to spend every effort to get these people not to be spending taxpayer money. So I want to give him props for that. Anyway, I'll have more on that next week. Anyway, the 5 o'clock focus. Again, I don't understand what the big hubbub with daylight savings time is. I don't. I know that people saying they want to get rid of it. I still don't understand why, other than the fact that people say that they hate that it gets dark early. Or something about depression, something about wanting to go to bed early, whatever that is. I don't know. It doesn't affect me in that way, so I guess I don't care. But it's not that I don't care. I don't understand. Okay? I don't. And if you do, and you'd like to explain it to me so I can get on board, or at least understand it. All I want to know is understanding what's the big deal. Is there one reason? Are there several reasons? Are there 1,000 reasons? Does everybody have their particular reason? Because I watched the one day talking about it on the 5, and they went nuts talking about this. Like people were screaming and hollering over each other. No, this is wrong. I don't like it. It doesn't make, I don't know. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. And in the next half hour, I will be playing, it's only 5 minutes, 49 seconds long. It's called 6 to 8 Black Men. I want you to hear it because it's a tradition in our home. Anytime people spend Christmas with us, we have them listen to the audio book version of this story by David Sedaris. And it's funny. It's hilarious. It is also how they celebrate Christmas elsewhere. And it is a departure, and I do mean a departure from the Saint Nick that each and every one of us know. So I promise you'll get to enjoy it. Mark Christopher, before you get to traffic in the BPS Traffic Center, daylight saving, are you affected by this in any way, just briefly?
I wouldn't say daylight savings time per se.
Okay.
But I definitely get this weird seasonal disorder thing.
Okay, that's the thing I hear a lot about. I don't understand what that means. Like when people say, like, it's something about you feel, I hate to use the word depression because I feel like that's being used. But yeah, I think that's sort of like the diagnosis that people are depressed in that.
I think, I'm not, there's people that are depressed. I think sometimes maybe people use it the term a little bit too liberally. Right. I think everybody's depressed now, and I'm not. I have no reason to be depressed.
Right.
But yeah, I need sun and warm weather.
I got you. See, Richard A. says lethargic is a good word too.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. I just don't have the motivation. I get up in the morning at 10 after 5. It's dark.
Yeah.
I'm in here by the time I get out of work, it's 5 after 6. It's dark again.
It's dark. So you really don't see any sunlight.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
and then in the afternoon, it starts getting dark around 3:30, quarter to 4.
Okay.
But the good news is on Saturday, I think that's the shortest day of the year, and then we start gaining time after the 21st.
Right,
so
exactly.
That's a little good news there. But yeah, I would say for me it's more seasonal disorder. Whatever the lack of sunlight is, it definitely does affect me. But the moving the clock ahead or back an hour, it's like, yeah, whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
Okay.
It is what it is.
I just wanted to ask. I'm just saying, get a certain perspective. Thank you, sir.
You got it, my friend. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91, look for delays 36 down to 35. Again, 34 down to 32 A and B. Again, you're slowing now as you move down by exit 27 down to exit 26 in Wethersfield. And then after that, good ride down into Meriden. Northbound 91, that is running slow from 24 up to 25, 26. That's also being affected by Route 3 northbound. That is slowing from I-91 all the way over to the Route 2 ramps in Glastonbury. 91 northbound, a little tight traffic as you move between 35 and 36 in Windsor. 291 eastbound, slowing I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge. If you're traveling to westbound, delays 8 to 5D, again from exit 4 to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 9 northbound, you've got delays Harbor Park up toward the Aragoni Bridge. Again, if you're traveling 9 northbound, you've got delays 31 up to exit 34 in New Britain. If you are on the southbound side of Route 9, look for delays from 25 down to 35 to 33 in Berlin. Now, westbound 84 is a long, slow line of traffic from the 691 interchange in Cheshire right up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 84 eastbound slowing 17 to 18. Again, slow traffic 26 down to the 691 interchange. Traveling 84 eastbound, got delays now from the 684 interchange in New York State all the way out to exit 5 in Danbury. More slow traffic approaching 10 to 11 in Newtown. Heading toward New Haven, 91 southbound delays 7 toward the 95 interchange. 95 southbound delays 48 down to 43. Southbound 91, you're slowing approaching exit 60 into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Rain currently right along the New York-Connecticut line and moving eastward as we head through the evening hours. So expect periods of rain ending after midnight, the low down to 35. Breezy with a mix of clouds and sun Thursday. The high 45 is going to feel like it's well down in the 30s with a strong northwest wind all day. Cloudy and colder Friday and afternoon snow shower around the high 34. However, if you have plans Friday evening, there could be a period of steadier snow after dark. That could lead to some slow and slick travel. Saturday, more clouds and sun. A breezy day with a couple of flurries. The high 30s going to feel like teens and low 20s at times with a strong north-northwest wind. Sunday, very cold, plenty of sun. The high 22. Again, feeling like the teens still with the breeze out of the north-northwest. On Monday, mostly sunny, another cold day, but less windy, a high of 26. Right now, it's 44 in New London, 45 in Mansfield, 48 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Remember, for all station contest rules, go to WTIC.com/rules.
Steel holiday savings are here. Make room under the tree for gifts at the top of their wish list. Power up the holidays with great deals on long-lasting tools. Find the perfect gift at your local Steel dealer or shop the Steel Holiday Gift Guide at SteelUSA.com.
With the $5 meal deal at McDonald's, you pick a McDouble or a hot and spicy McChicken, then get a small fry, a small drink, and a 4-piece McNuggets. That's a lot of McDonald's for not a lot of money.
Price and participation may vary. For a limited time only.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking. Guaranteed. Early bird special $49.99. Seminars Thursday, January 9th, Hilton Garden Inn, Hartford, South Glastonbury. In Glastonbury. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, January 11th, Holiday Inn Express Southington. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Eric Hummel. This holiday season, remember to pick up delicious Hummel Cocktail Franks, a great addition to any celebration. Made with the same great recipe as our world-famous hot dogs, only in bite-sized portion. Hummel Cocktail Franks will surely be a hit, whether you make them into pigs in a blanket or heat them and serve them with a barbecue or mustard dipping sauce. And remember, all Hummel products are gluten-free and always represent the very best in quality. I'm Eric Hummel, and I personally guarantee it. Look for Hummel Original Recipe or new Hummel All-Beef Cocktail Franks in the meat department of your local supermarket.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will... Get restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 50% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man.
Sokolowski in the building on Twitch. Again, you can always find Reese on the radio to join the chat room. I always forget to mention Twitch. Sokolowski, who's also on YouTube and everywhere else. You can find us there. So join us at reeseontheradio.com. You can even watch it there live if you don't want to opine or chime in there as well. And you can join us back here next Thursday. I'm going to keep rubbing that in. Anyway, 5 o'clock focus. Daylight savings time. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, when I say I don't understand it, let me make it clear. I do understand what's happening. I just don't understand the hubbub. Like, I think everyone's saying that, as Richard A. said in the chat room, that people don't get enough sunlight and the fall back and the spring forward changing of the time. That's the essence of all of this. I kind of like that aspect of it. I like remembering it. I don't need the sunlight or the dawn or dusk, whatever it may be. That really doesn't affect my mood in any way, but I get that it does for certain people. That's why I said I don't understand it. But to the phones we go, 860-522-WTIC. Ralph's back on from South Carolina. I'm sorry about that, Ralph. I couldn't hear you before. What's going on, buddy?
That was my fault. I live in Beaufort, and I was just coming back from a doctor's office visit in Bluffton, and there's a dead spot between Beaufort and Bluffton, and we just happened to be in it.
No problem.
So that's what happened. As far as daylight savings time goes, the reason, if I'm not mistaken, they did that was for the farmers.
Right.
So the farmers could work out in the fields an hour later during the day. But the main reason I call, Reese, and let me know what your thought process is on this.
Okay.
Social Security has to increase what they take out of people's pay. What they got to do, at least in my mind, is like 1/4 or 0.5% for the employee and the employer. I mean, you got to realize that, and I have been retired now, or I retired when I was 62, because I had to.
Okay.
But right now, my Social Security monthly is almost $2,000.
Oh, okay.
Now, you figure out a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people are getting more than me.
Sure.
And so there's not enough money coming in as compared to what's going out. So, and this is the real world. This is the fact. These are facts. They're going to have to increase the age by a little bit, maybe slowly.
Right.
And they're going to have to, increase your deduction, your contribution, by maybe 0.5 point or 1/4 point, which on $100, that's 50 cents.
How about not taxing it? How do you feel about Donald Trump's proposal to not tax it?
Well, what they're going to have to do then is set up a plan where the money's going to be invested somewhere. Because, Reese, you know and I know, if people aren't forced to do this, they're not going to do it.
That's
and when
right.
they hit 65, they're going to have nothing.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. Everybody knows that, with the population decrease, which is one of the biggest problems that even Chuck Schumer's talking about, we have such a population increase, which again doesn't make sense why they keep talking about the influx of illegals into this country who don't pay into that system. We have a population decrease. We have a birth rate that's plummeting. One will not be able to pay for the other because, look, like it or not, that Social Security is kind of a Ponzi scheme. The young people are paying in so the older ones can get paid. What we paid in when we were younger is only for the older people in order to get to sort of get paid out of. So,
right, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say that. I was going to say that. Look, we need to subsidize the older folks with actual people who are paying into the structure. We're not doing that with the immigration plan. That's not being done.
When they put Social Security into effect, the average lifespan was like 64 years old.
Yeah.
And what is it now? 78, 77?
Yeah, 78 to 79. Yeah. So, people need they because of the longer. And I think you're right in the earlier statement you made was incremental increase in the age, maybe one year every 5 years.
Or maybe 6 months every 3 or 4 years. But you could be 100% correct. But they've also got to increase what they're paying in because it's not going to work unless they do that.
Yeah, that's
true. And what
true.
happens when the money does run out? I mean, hey, folks, on Social Security, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's true.
It's got to be done now.
Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Let's go to Rob's in Torrington. How you doing, Rob? Daylight savings time. For it, against it, does it affect you at all?
How you doing, Reese? First-time caller. So let's see if I can get my points across without sounding like a blubbering idiot.
No, you're good, sir. Go ahead.
I'm a construction guy. So, listen, most of the gripe you get is when they turn the clocks back in the fall and they take away the daylight, okay?
Gotcha.
That's standard time, okay? We are on standard time. So if we're not going to change the clocks back, then this is the time we're on full year round.
Right.
So that means in the summertime, it's going to get dark at 8:30 versus the 9:30 that we have now.
Now,
okay?
Rob,
the sun's going to come up at
Rob, am I confused because
3:30 in the morning? Right?
Rob, I'm confused because from what I heard, and like I said, the only reason why I'm talking about this is because I saw them talking about it on the 5. Somebody on the 5, and I want to say it was Dana Perino, who said that what Donald Trump wants to do in getting rid of it is actually go to the spring clock, like the spring ahead. So in other words, we would see longer daylight, if that makes any sense. Like in other words, he doesn't want to keep it standard time. He wants the daylight savings time. Right? Is that
okay?
Right?
That could be fine. I just don't know how that works with the world clock. But that's
exactly.
My second point is that I'm a construction person, and just like the previous caller talked about, the farmers. So there's a certain percentage of the workforce that uses the sun daylight for their working hours.
Right.
Okay. Normal construction workers start at 7 o'clock. That means that workforce, that part of the workforce, maybe is 10, 15, 25% of the workforce. That means our travel time on the roads is staggered. If we don't stagger the work time, now you're going to have all the people going to work at the same time, and you're going to put that much more traffic on the roads.
Good point. I didn't think of that. That is a very good point.
We go in early, we leave early. So there's a certain percentage that is staggered. If you don't, okay, so let's say we stay on the sunny side, right, the spring timeline. That means we're not going to work in the winter time till 8 o'clock in the morning because it's dark. It'll be dark then.
Good point.
Okay?
And again, that affects production because
we can't work. We don't. Construction people can't work in the dark.
That's
right.
right.
There's guys that work at the road with lights and everything. It's very unproductive and it's really not all that safe.
Yeah.
Everything's about safety and insurance and all that stuff. It's very difficult to really, especially like we do concrete foundation work. There's a lot of little parts and pieces. You're cutting with skill saws. You're drawing lines. It's very hard to do that under natural or artificial light.
Understood. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Now I have a clearer understanding why it's so important to so many people. Thank you, Rob. Oh, you can always call back, sir, and thank you for being for this being your first time calling, man. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, I do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You got it. Lori is in Glastonbury. I know Lori's got. I was waiting for you to call in on this one.
Well, first of all, I think I'm probably going to go through withdrawals if I'm not going to be able to hear you until next Thursday. Holy
You and me
cow.
both.
Oh my goodness! But I let me catch my breath because I just came up my stairs.
Okay.
I drive around for part of the job that I do now because I'm transporting children and families.
Gotcha.
And for me, it gets so dark so early. Sometimes it's hard to find addresses that you've never been to. If you're trying to, transport, it's the first time doing a transport. Sometimes that can be difficult. I drive around a lot in the country areas. So like
you're
at
also
night,
dealing
I've got
with
kids in the car, freaking
with
out.
animals.
Like there's animals, but also even in the wintertime with the weather, so now I've got the combo of like, okay, is it black ice? Is there stuff I can see that's there? It's just it just adds to the stress levels to be driving around in the dark, with kids in the car or parents in the car.
Gotcha.
Or what have you. I'd rather have as much light as I possibly can on the evening side, so that it's not as anxiety.
Yeah, it is. I'm thinking about that going, because otherwise you'd have to shift your day to the hours that you could drive or where it would be safer on the road. And as Rob was just talking about it with construction, everybody's hours would have to change. Can you imagine during the winter time or during that daylight savings time, or when the clocks are sort of fall back, everybody has to switch to it. People find that incredibly difficult to do. And they'll probably, the motivation to do that would probably be, less or lower, to have to go in earlier because the way in which the sunlight is operating at that time. So maybe it would be a good idea. See, again, being in a position that I'm in, the work that I do, I'm not really affected by that in that way. I look at it and I go, it's darker earlier, so I don't really care. I kind of feel like I'm so removed that I don't care, but I don't want to be insensitive. I really needed to understand why this was affecting people in such a visceral way. But now I understand.
Yeah, I'm not so much worried about the morning because light will come.
Yeah.
Light will come, so it'll get lighter. But it's when it gets dark around, 3:45, and it's like, oh crap, I have to drive to wherever. Yeah. And that's when, like last year, I was really out in like the far reaches of Connecticut, and it was like, okay, Lord Jesus, take all the wheels because I just need to get me and this kiddo safely to his foster home and then get me safely home.
You said Jesus, take all the wheels, not just yours, everybody's wheel.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Now that is the way to spread the prayer around, Lori. I love it.
Yes.
Jesus, take everybody's wheel, not just mine. I want everybody to have your guidance. I love it. That's brilliant. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I will see you next week afterwards, and I'll tell you all my tales of woe because I'm not much of a holiday guy. Love you guys. Okay, so I got to go to the break real quick. Now, look, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. Stick around. I'm going to play 6 to 8 black men after the what happened was when we come back from that break. I'm going to play it. If you want to stick around, stay on the line and give me your opinion of the Davis Sedaris piece, please do. Just stick around. Be patient. You can still still give me your insight or your opinion on daylight savings time. But we're not going to have a lot of time, and I have to fill it all in the next half an hour. So bear with me as I go through it. Okay? So again, David Sedaris, 6 to 8 black men. This is Christmas in Holland, I believe, in Amsterdam. And how they celebrate it. You may have heard in the recent years, they actually had to change the way it was celebrated because it was very controversial because of, how woke got into our society, into our lexicon. So David Sedaris tells this story about how they used to celebrate Christmas in Amsterdam. And it is funny, and it is quite informative. And when I first saw it, or heard it for that matter, I thought it was the most amazing thing, and it made me very interested in Christmas around the world. So I hope that you join us and stick around to hear it. And if you want to opine about it, you'll get an opportunity to do so. So with that, let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Mark, I hope that you stick around and hear this. You don't want to miss this 6 to 8 black man Christmas
I'm
story.
going nowhere. So
Okay.
I don't get to go home for a while.
Oh,
so
you
I
got
will
it, buddy.
definitely be here. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, this traffic report being brought to you by Holiday Cirque Sugar Plum Fantasy. For tickets, visit hartfordsymphony.org. Heading into Hartford right now, westbound side of 84, you got delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge. It's heavy out to exit 48 Asylum Street. If you are traveling on the eastbound side of 84, look for delays 44 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. East of the river seems to be moving pretty well now as you head out into Manchester. Southbound 91 delays from 34 down to 32 A and B. Again, 27 down to 28. If you're traveling on the northbound side of I-91, just a little slow as you move up on 25-26 with the Putnam Bridge. After that, you've got a good ride. Hartford up into the Windsor exit. If you're traveling 291 eastbound, delays from I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge. Both sides of Route 3 heavy and slow between Wethersfield and Glastonbury between I-91 and Route 2. 2 westbound slows from exit 4 to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 9 northbound Middletown tight 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 southbound slowing Crummell Middletown line to the Aragoni. 9 northbound delays 31 up to exit 34 in New Britain. If you're heading toward Waterbury, still a very long, slow line of traffic approaching 26 in Cheshire, up to 22 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound is sluggish, 17 to 18. More delays again, approaching 26 in Cheshire down to the 691 interchange. Heading into Danbury, 84 eastbound, slowing New York Connecticut line out to 5. Again, 84 eastbound, you'll see some slow traffic, 9 to 11 in Newtown. And heading down in toward New Haven, southbound side of the Parkway, you've got slow traffic from exit 61 into the West Rock Tunnel. 91 southbound delays 7 in toward the 95 interchange. 95 southbound delays 48 to 43 in West Haven. New for 2024, the Hartford Symphony presents Holiday Cirque Sugar Plum Fantasy. Experience Nutcracker favorites with awe-inspiring aerialist and gymnast. Don't miss the holiday extravaganza with a Nutcracker twist. Visit hartfordsymphony.org for tickets. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, WTIC News Talk 1080.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, 47 degrees. I'm John Silva. Clouds on the increase. Some rain developing later on tonight. Should be out of here by early tomorrow. In West Hartford, a shooting investigation is underway in town. Officers called to a scene on Hillcrest Avenue. At this point, at least one person has been shot that we know of, taken to an area hospital. They don't have a condition yet or a motive for that shooting. Federal Reserve cut its key interest rate by 1/4 point, third cut of the year. Also signaled that it expects to reduce rates more slowly next year than previously envisioned, largely because of still stubborn inflation, and that sent the markets into a tizzy today, one of the worst days of the year. After the Fed made that announcement, Dow dropped over 1,100 points. S&P fell 2.9%. Police in Norwalk on the lookout for who is responsible for flyers that have turned up in parts of the city with what the department calls prejudicial messaging. The PD says those messages reference certain cultures and religions. The flyers are found along several streets near City Hall. Supreme Court is going to hear arguments next month over the constitutionality of the federal law that could ban TikTok in the U.S. if its Chinese parent company does not sell it. The law went into effect earlier this year, enacted in April, and a January 19th deadline for TikTok was set to either be sold or else face a ban here in the U.S. altogether. Hospital Association of Connecticut held a meeting with its members today. They talked about a report into the federal challenges, the financial challenges related to post-pandemic recovery and inflation facing hospitals across the state. And in New Haven, police have identified the man who was found to be apparently squatting in an unused office at Yale New Haven Hospital. That person is 35-year-old Hassau Powell. No cause of death has been given as yet. Again on Wall Street, Dow lost 1,123 points today, second biggest loss of the year. NASDAQ dropped 716. S&P was down, again, nearly 3 points to 178. Men's college basketball, Xavier at number 11, UConn tonight. NBA and NHL locals are idle. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell & Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
This holiday season, make Liquor Square in Unionville your one-stop shop. Liquor Square's got an incredible selection of wine, spirits, and craft beers to make your holiday celebration special. Stop by today or shop online for delivery at liquorsquaredt.com. Liquor Square, your holiday destination for great taste.
Hi, this is Joel Johnson with Johnson Brunetti. Do not make mistakes when it comes to Social Security decisions. Get our free guide, Social Security Decisions. Call or text the word security to request your copy. 1-800-705-1232. Call or text the word security to 1-800-705-1232 to get your free guide. 1-800-705-1232.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos? Starting now, radio listeners get access to our best last-minute holiday deals from Legacy Box. Get your family's videotapes converted for just $9 and photos professionally scanned for as low as 7 cents each, which is 76% less than what other brands charge. As the world's largest digitizer, you know you can trust Legacy Box to digitize your entire collection of old media. Everything from the embarrassing haircut you had in the 90s to photos of your great-grandma's wedding. Visit legacybox.com/value to get 200 photos scanned starting at just $19.95. Oh, and don't forget, Legacy Box also digitizes over 15 other types of analog media. It's the most meaningful give this holiday season. Take advantage of this exclusive last-minute holiday offer from Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/value. That's legacybox.com/value.
Can't get to a WTIC holiday store? Donate from your phone. Text WTIC to 31333.
We're back. It's Reese on the radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. When we come back, we'll be playing David Sedaris' 6 to 8 Black Men. I got a lot of audio today. I played Paul Harvey earlier in the show. Now we'll be playing David Sedaris for Christmas. So I hope that you'll stick around for that and get to enjoy it. Let's take Ron real quick in East Windsor. How you doing, Ron? Are you calling about the daylight savings time?
Yes, I am. I know we talked about this just recently. I'm out here delivering everybody's Christmas presents right now.
Right.
And I know we talked about it before about no numbers on the mailboxes, no numbers on the house. It's real fun after 5. It's real fun.
Right.
Else is great too. We all just love these lawn ornaments that tie heavy strings across the yard.
Oh my goodness!
It's like Vietnamese tripwire. Oh, the tripwire! Oh my God!
I've seen this. I saw this guy. I saw this guy with a 50. I want to say it's at least 50 feet high. The darn thing looks. He's got a big giant reindeer in front of his house. We've got a 1-story homes on our block. We have a couple of 2-story homes, but this guy, most of them are 1-story homes. He's got a reindeer that sits the height of a 2-story home in front of his house. And I'm like, holy crap. And the thing, I thought this guy was in like the Thanksgiving Day parade with this thing.
Yeah, you got to be careful walking in the lawns and stuff. It's ridiculous. I'm going to be out here to like 10:30 tonight, so we're swamped. I mean, it's the last week before Christmas.
Right.
I mean, anytime it starts getting dark before 5 o'clock, I mean, it's dangerous out here, just safety reasons, especially when you got black ice and when the weather's bad. I mean, it's really bad. But
so you're one of those people. So you're on the side of let's get rid of the whole daylight savings time thing and just keep it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It makes sense.
Think of how many people get deliveries now.
That's
you
true.
Got Amazon, you got postal workers, everybody's delivering now.
Yeah, I think now it's a question of. I think you're right. I think now it's a question of safety. You know, for all intents and purposes. Okay, no, that makes sense. Thank Ron, as always, sir. Thank you for calling in and thanks for your perspective.
Thank you.
You got it, folks. All right, stick around. We'll be back. David Sedaris, who wrote the wonderful book called Holidays on Ice. If you've never seen it, go pick it up. But we'll be playing his piece from that called 6 to 8 Black Men. I've got the book in my hand here. Let's get another check of our traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford, southbound 91 delays 34 down to 32 A and B. Against slow traffic 27 down to 28 on the Hartford Weathersfield line. Northbound side of 91, a little slow 25, 26 in Weathersfield. After that, a good ride up into Windsor. If you are traveling on the westbound side of 84, delays approaching the area of
be careful out there,
Bulkley
Craig.
Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue, 84 eastbound slowing 44 Prospect Oakwood down to the Bulkley Bridge. If you're traveling 291 eastbound, a little tight, Bissell Bridge over to exit 4 in South Windsor. 2 westbound, some slow traffic by 5D, and again from exit 4 to the 84 west, merging East Hartford. Both sides of Route, let's see, that would be Route 3, slowing between Weathersfield and Glastonbury, just heavy traffic there. If you are traveling into Middletown, 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 southbound is tied up from the Cromwell Middletown line down to the Aragoni Bridge. More delays 9 northbound from 31 up to 34 in New Britain. And look out for an accident now. And this is going to be on the northbound side of Route 9 in Newington between exit 38 and 39. Left lane blocked there with that crash, so you want to stay to the right there. If you are heading toward Waterbury right now, long, slow line of traffic approaching exit 26 in Cheshire all the way up to exit 22 on the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound is a little slow by 18. Again, some slow traffic as you move 25A down to the 691 interchange in Cheshire. 84 eastbound Danbury locked up, approaching the New York, Connecticut line to 5. More delays from 9 up to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays from 61 down into the West Rock Tunnel. 91 southbound slowing from 7 in toward the 95 interchange, and 95 southbound delays 48 to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
On the radar, rain now from Danbury to Newtown up to Southbury, Waterbury, to Bristol now, as well as up toward Granby, and making its way off to the east as we head through the rest of the evening. Periods of rain, though, ending after midnight. The low down to 35. Breezy with a mix of clouds and sun as we head through the day on Thursday. The high 45 is going to feel a lot colder than that with a strong northwest wind throughout the day. Friday, cloudy and colder, an afternoon snow shower around, the high of 34. Now, if you've got Friday plans during the evening, there could be a period of some steadier snow after dark that could lead to some slow and slick travel, so be aware. Saturday, more clouds and sun, breezy with a couple of flurries, but cold. The high of 30 is going to feel like teens and 20s with a strong north-northwest wind. Sunday, very cold with plenty of sunshine. The high of 22 will feel like the teens, still with a breeze out of the north-northwest. Monday, mostly sunny and cold with a high of 26. For right now, it is 43 in Mansfield. It's 48 in Bristol, also 48 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Catarina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
This holiday season, save $30 on the GTA 26 handheld garden pruner. Now just $149.99. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Offer valid for a limited time. Only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Reba is back, live in concert. See Reba performing all the hits for one night only, live at Mohegan Sun Arena, Friday, March 28th. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing. I don't have any cravings. You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results. Do it. It works, period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special, only $49.99 guaranteed. No irritability, no cravings, because don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. In addition, use hypnosis to lose all the weight and destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, January 9th at the Hilton Garden Inn, Hartford, South Glastonbury, and Glastonbury. Weight loss seminar 5:30. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. or Saturday, January 11th at the Holiday Inn Express, Southington. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at Mark Patrick Center markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
For eligible individuals 18 and older with self-perceived mild to moderate.
1 minute.
See website for details and important safety information.
Hello, I'm Dr. Harvey Abrams, head of research audiology at Jabra Enhance. Did you know there's a connection between untreated hearing loss and chronic conditions like cognitive decline and dementia? The good news is hearing aids can actually reduce these risks and help you stay connected. Today, I'm excited to tell you about my favorite hearing aids, the game-changing Jabra Enhance Select 500. Jabra Enhance offers an affordable solution for most common hearing problems with our best ever speech-enhancing capabilities for a mighty sound in a micro-sized package. Plus, with Jabra Enhance's premium package, you get 3 years of continuous remote care provided by licensed hearing healthcare professionals. No waiting rooms or long commutes. It's as easy as video chatting with a friend. Because at Jabra Enhance, our job is to help you hear and be heard.
Save 3 and select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/radio. That's JABRA Enhance.com/radio. JabraEnhance.com/radio.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. And without further ado, I want to get into it so I can at least say goodbye to you for a week. Again, David Sedaris, one of my favorite writers, at a very low point in my life, someone gave me these books in order for me to read them, and they made me happy and made me laugh, and I got an opportunity to meet David Sedaris and ask him about one of my favorite people he wrote in his book, The Rooster, his younger brother, Paul. So without further ado, I'm only giving you the edited version, so with some edits, David Sedaris and 6 to 8 Black Men, A Christmas Story.
In France and Germany, gifts are exchanged on Christmas Eve, while in Holland, the children open their presents on December 6th, which is nationally celebrated as St. Nicholas Day. It sounded sort of quaint until I spoke to a man named Oscar, who filled me in on a few of the details as we walked from my hotel to the Amsterdam train station. Unlike the jolly, obese American Santa, St. Nicholas is painfully thin and dresses not unlike the Pope, topping his robes with a tall hat resembling an embroidered tea cozy. The outfit, I was told, is a carryover from his former career when he served as the Bishop of Turkey. I'm sorry, I said. But could you repeat that? One doesn't want to be too much of a cultural chauvinist, but this seemed completely wrong to me. For starters, Santa didn't used to do anything. He's not retired, and more importantly, he has nothing to do with Turkey. It's too dangerous there, and the people wouldn't appreciate him. When asked how he got from Turkey to the North Pole, Oscar told me with complete conviction that St. Nicholas currently resides in Spain, which again is simply not true. While our Santa flies in on a sled, the Dutch version arrives by boat and then transfers to a white horse. The event is televised and great crowds gather at the waterfront to greet him. I'm not sure if there's a set date, but he generally docks in late November and spends a few weeks hanging out and asking people what they want. Is it just him alone, I asked? Or does he come with some backup? Oscar's English was close to perfect, but he seemed thrown by a term normally reserved for police reinforcement. Helpers, I said. Does he have any elves? Maybe I'm just overly sensitive, but I couldn't help but feel personally insulted when Oscar denounced the very idea as, quote, grotesque and unrealistic. Elves, he said. They're just so silly. The words silly and unrealistic were redefined when I learned that St. Nicholas travels with what was consistently described as 6 to 8 black men. I asked several Dutch people to narrow it down, but none of them could give me an exact number. It was always 6 to 8, which seemed strange considering they've had hundreds of years to get a decent head count. The 6 to 8 black men were characterized as personal slaves until the mid-1950s, when the political climate changed and it was decided that instead of being slaves, they were just good friends. I think history has proven that something usually comes between slavery and friendship. period of time marked not by cookies and quiet hours beside the fire, but by bloodshed and mutual hostility. They have such violence in Holland, but rather than duking it out amongst one another, Santa and the former slaves decided to take it out on the public. In the early years, if a child was naughty, St. Nicholas and the 6 to 8 black men would beat him with what Oscar described as the small branch of a tree. Then, if the youngster was really bad, they'd put him in a sack and take him back to Spain. Wait a minute. St. Nicholas would kick you? Well, not anymore, Oscar said. Now he just pretends to kick you. He considered this to be progressive, but in a way, I think it's almost more perverse than the original punishment. I'm going to hurt you, but not really. While 8 flying reindeer are a hard pill to swallow, our Christmas story remains relatively dull. Santa lives with his wife in a remote polar village and spends one night a year traveling around the world. If you're bad, he leaves you coal. If you're good and live in America, he'll give you just about anything you want. We tell our children to be good and send them off to bed where they lie awake, anticipating their great bounty. A Dutch parent has a decidedly tastier story to relate, telling his children, listen, you might want to pack a few of your things together before going to bed. The former Bishop of Turkey will be coming tonight, along with 6 to 8 black men. They might put some candy in your shoes, they might stuff you into a sack and take you to Spain, or they might just pretend to kick you. We don't know for sure, but we want you to be prepared. This is the reward for living in Holland. As a child, you get to hear this story, and as an adult, you get to turn around and repeat it. As an added bonus, the government has thrown in legalized drugs and prostitution. So what's not to love about being Dutch?
I do hope that you enjoyed that. Again, we play it every year at our house when family comes by, we play the longer version. That's the edited version that he did, and I wanted you guys to get an opportunity here. But it is a hilarious story. The story is even longer and a lot funnier. I love it. David Sedaris has been everywhere. Every time he's on late night television, I watch him from Craig Ferguson to David Letterman, which is on, and Conan O'Brien. And he's been writing for years. One of my favorite books is one he wrote called Me Talk Pretty One Day. And if you're interested in such a good read and something to sort of lift you up and laugh about, you will enjoy it. He is, bar none, one of my favorite writers. We don't even agree politically. The first time I ever saw him was in 2016 during the presidential election. He did not want to opine about Donald Trump, but he made it clear he wasn't a fan. But even with that, I still love David Sedaris, still do. And he is still funny all of these years later. Some comments in the chat room. Susan says, I loved it. Richard A. says, brilliant. And yeah, it's really, really good. I hope that you guys will look him up online. You can listen to those things. I found that one on YouTube as well. Let's get to the phones real quick before we get out of here. Bob is in Middlefield. How you doing, Bob?
Hey, good. I really loved that. That was really funny. He's a funny man.
He is.
Really. He's a great storyteller too. But
isn't he?
That, so, yeah, he's quite intriguing.
Yeah.
I just had to add in. I know we discussed the drone situation, and I don't want to drone on, as they say, about the drone. But I did find something peculiar today. Ran across an article about where these things are, or a possibility of what they are. If you look up the term HOLO, HOLO, drones, hollow drones, meaning holographic drones, they could be set up anywhere. As a matter of fact, DARPA which is the defense, and
yeah, very much
the
aware of who they are. And it's funny because you mentioned that.
no-
Let me cut you real quick because ABC
sure.
Channel 7 Eyewitness News in New York was in New Jersey, and they filmed a globe that was sort of spinning and sort of reflecting in some way. And the news were like, we've never seen anything like that, which lends a little credence to what you're talking about as far as a hologram is concerned. Like it didn't look like something was projecting, but it looked like this sort of glowing orb that was in the sky.
Yes. As a matter of fact, they about what I found out today is just truly fascinating. They could set up 7 drones, just like regular drones, equipped with this holographic imagery on those things, and could amass hundreds of holographic images in the sky. So in other words, if you look under Project Bluebeam, which they all say is a conspiracy.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that too.
They could project. This is how advanced the military is with DARPA. They can have a standing army or a police force at your door, and all it is a holographic image.
You want to hear something crazy? You know what I'm thinking of as you're talking about this? You know how some people say life dictates art or art dictates life in a weird way? As you're describing this, you know what I'm thinking of? One of the last Spider-Man movies with the Tom Holland kid was that that Mysterio character who had the drones that put the hologram of the of the elementals. Yeah. I'm thinking about that as you're talking about it. I'm going, what if that's not science fiction?
Well, that's what they say. They say these movies, they're not science fiction. It's actually what they are is actually documentaries.
Yeah.
Real life documentaries, because they got to actually tell us the truth about whatever they're doing,
Yeah.
But the mere fact is that they can project hundreds of drone-like images.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking about the fighter pilots that went up and all of a sudden they disappeared.
Yeah, that
that's
could
a
possibly be
holographic
it.
Image.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Bob. Much appreciated, sir. Have a Merry Christmas.
I'll see you in a week. Yeah.
You got it, buddy. Adam is in East Hartford. How we doing, Adam?
Hey, we're going to miss you. And before I get to my comment, I do hope you and the wife have a wonderful Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Thank you so much, and the same to you. What did you think of David Sedaris? Good stuff?
Good stuff, and also, I forgot if you and her have kids together, or if you have your kids, she has his
We
kids.
do not have any children together, but you know what? She has been hinting around that she might be pregnant. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Praise God. I was going to say praise God, but hey, another subject, regarding daylight savings time.
Yeah.
I think they should leave it the way it is, keep changing. I'll tell you why, because the reason, I'm kind of an old guy. I'm 61, and I remember when Nixon, during the energy crisis, tried leaving daylight savings time in the winter months, but the problem was kids were going to school on the buses in the dark, or going to the bus stops in the dark in the morning. So that's why they're trying to prevent that again,
Yeah, and I think that's, you know what, look, if it does change, I hope it changes sort of like the spring back and stays that way. I don't want, most people are thinking that that's going to be the deal, but I don't know. It could happen maybe this year. Maybe they'll actually put it to a vote. I know it had been talked about. I think back in George W. Bush's day, there was talk about it as well, but it never came to fruition. So maybe we'll get lucky this time around. All right, but let me get up out of here, buddy. I've got to end the show. But thank you, Adam. I appreciate you, sir. Merry Christmas to you. Yeah, I will put the video, the audio link to 6 to 8 Black Men on my Facebook page. As well, you know what? I'll just put it on the Reese on the Radio page, so you can listen to yourself and you can share it with your family. Again, pick up the books. Like I said, all of them. Some of them are good, some of them are dark, but a lot of them are very, very funny. But this particular time of year, Holiday on Ice, it's all Christmas stories in this small little book, and I think it sells for as little as $5. This book. In fact, I'm looking at how many short stories are in here, and the reason why I love these is because I didn't read a lot as a kid, and short stories have always been my favorite, even since high school. All right, I got to get up out of here. There's the cue. All right. So as I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. You have a wonderful Christmas. Have a wonderful Christmas Eve. I hope you get everything that you want, but if you get anything, I hope you get the love of family and friends and get to share it in the Christmas spirit. And don't forget to give to the Holiday Store and the Salvation Army. Help us out here at WTIC. I will see you guys on Thursday. He's Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Mark Christopher, Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Same to you, Reese. Thank you very much. And all your family members, have a great holiday. If you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, 84 eastbound, you've got...
All right, good sir.
Oh, that was so bittersweet.
Oh, man. What you going to do with yourself?
I don't know. I'm going to chain myself to an other work. I'm probably just going to work at U-Haul all week.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'll give myself something to do.
Moving very well.
That's all. That's probably what I'm going to do. I'll probably create videos and stuff like that.
I'll
find something to do.
Up to the 84
Maybe spend time with my wife.
Oh, maybe that's a good idea.
Gurney Bridge in Middletown.
That's what I'll do.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, good.
Still sluggish from the 691.
You have a Merry Christmas, man, to you and your family, man. I'll see you next week.
You too. Enjoy your holidays.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye.
Down to the 91 interchange. Heading into Danbury, 84 eastbound. You're slowing now, approaching the New York, Connecticut line out to 5.
Oh, man. I love you guys. Thank you as well. And just listen. The best thing for you to do, and I hope that you will, follow the show. Subscribe to the show. I might get so bored that at least I do the podcast like we used to do back in the days. And we'll do it on all of the platforms so you can watch it as well. But I know you guys got things to do. But, you know, I want to make sure that we at least keep the content coming. So I would miss you guys too much if I had to wait all the way till Thursday. So, gosh, like a week off? I don't even know what to do with myself. I love you guys. Be good.